Oh, I can't get my mouth around that thing. Oh.
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Wednesday, March 2nd to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. We have a packed show, an absolutely packed show for you guys today. Mr. Gogster going to be up in a few short minutes to break down the 4-game NHL card. Then Nolly makes his triumphant return. He's done 2 shows with us. Over those 2 shows, 5 wins and 2 losses. And he is back in action with 4 best bets. He's focusing on the smaller schools, the Northeastern Conference tournament. And then we have C-Mac, who has 6 games, 4 he's making moves on, 2 he's got leans on. They're the high marquee, high profile games. So we have 10 NCAA games that we'll be breaking down heavy. And I'm coming off a 4-1 day in NCAA basketball. And Pistol Peter Loshak had a huge day overall. But this really nice day in NCAA basketball as well. And then we have Dutch Boy Fresh. Sadly, our man Durrell is out with COVID. We love you, Durrell. Get better fast and get better soon. And that gives us Dutch Boy Fresh Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and his 59.6 cash rate on our show. He is 34-23 plus 9.43 units, ROI plus 16.54%, average line minus 105. He's coming off a 3-2 day with us last Thursday, and 3-2 plus 0.85 units only put his ROI up 0.04%. That's how strong he's been, where he'll go 3-2 plus 0.85 units and just keep strong where he is at. It's so exciting. I'm very excited to be here. We had an okay day yesterday, 8-6 plus 1.95 units across all sports. I was 8-4 though. I was 8-4, and I was very confident. Unlike I was on the other side of Razor, I had the over in the Dallas Lakers game, and they put 71 points up in the second quarter, 55 points up in the first quarter, and I was very confident that over was going to cash. But man, the Lakers looked abysmal in fourth quarters, and the Mavs just slow it down and late, and it was very frustrating. And then I lost my only loss in NCAA basketball. I went 4-1 NCAA basketball. My only loss was on the Arizona USC under. USC not playing any defense. So just a quick review of yesterday. 1-2 in NBA. Disappointing. Raptors first quarter minus 2.5. Dan Kelly said that the average score in this very strange sample size with the situation that was presented was that the home team was winning by 6 points, and they cashed by 7. It was an easy casher and got me rolling. But Raptors full game minus 9, and then this Dallas Lakers over 260.5. They lose. In college basketball, Michigan minus 4.5 was just too easy from start to finish. VCU minus 4.5 in St. Bonnie's team total under 64.5. Big shout out to Pistol Pete Loshak. Watching him break down that game, it was clear that was the right side. He tripled up VCU first half, VCU full game, and the team total under. Then I lost Arizona USC under 150, and I loved his breakdown, Pistols breakdown of Georgia plus 16. It was 15.5 available for me on the show. Went to 16 when I bet it, and that was a really easy cash. And he didn't make that an official. He did bet that, but we saw Nebraska, we saw Georgia. We're seeing bad teams kind of, play against successful teams who look a little lethargic against the weak opposition, and that worked in our favor. And then in NHL, it was so frustrating. I went 3-3 plus 0.25 units, but Carolina Detroit under 6.5 is 1-1 going into the third period, and to not cash that was extremely frustrating. And if I didn't cash the Anaheim first period plus 145, ended up 3-1 Anaheim, but it was 1-1, with about 5 minutes left. I was going to lose it. I was really angry. I'm really angry that I'm snake bit. New York, Colorado over 6 plus 100 was an easy casher. Flyers plus 135 was wrong. We got to keep an eye on what Koskinen is doing right now between the pipes for the Oilers. He looks extremely strong. So unders, especially when the Oilers are missing the depth part of their lineup. No Nuge, no Puljujarvi, no Yamamoto. When they're missing these depth pieces, they're a pretty easy team to defend. And with Koskinen's goaltending, we're going to be offered 6.5s, and we're going to get under them. Carter Hart played well, but the Flyers were trash. Blue Jackets minus 115 cashed, and Wild first period was terrible. I don't know what I'm doing trying to fade these Calgary Flames. All right, there's the breakdown of what happened yesterday. We have Dan Kelly in the house already. Dan Kelly with 3 looks. Charlotte team total, first half team total over 55. Indiana first half team total over 59.5. And Philly team total over 116.5. All of those make a ton of sense. We're going college basketball second. We have just a 4-game NHL card before we get into college basketball. Let me pop this in NBA. So we have 3 spots already delivered to us from the great Dan Kelly. Dan Kelly coming off a 3-2 day himself. Kyle Hitlian says Radford is up at 11:30 Eastern. Yes, Radford's up in 22 minutes, but none of our cappers were attacking that game, so I'm letting it go. There's Razor Sharp Picks, who 2-0 yesterday in the chat. Great job, Razor. And Razor has his horse racing show on Friday, and then Razor will be a part of my giant horse racing show on Saturday. No more giant than Razor's horse racing show. Razor's Friday night horse racing show is giant. It's spectacular. But Saturday, we're going to be going all day, all night. We start at 12 p.m. Eastern. I don't know when we'll end. I know that I'll have nailed the 26er Kraken over that period of time. 3 huge stakes races at Aqueduct, Santa Anita, Gulfstream Park. I can't wait. It's been too long since we've done it, so it's just a huge, huge day of horse racing and a huge weekend of horse racing. And jump onto our horse racing show and let it lead into the giant UFC show that we'll be having that night. It's a huge week here at Pub Sports Radio, and we're pumped up. And we're so pumped up because we're all going to party together in 3 weeks. We're all going to be hanging out together, and I just couldn't be more excited. More flights are being booked in the last few days. Babano's going to be there for the whole week. Prince of the City just booked his flight. Just more and more. Nutflush Allen about to book his flight. It's just coming. We want as many people to party there down with us as possible. Kyle Hintlian, Viper NB in the house. Jordy Nordman, Razor Sharp Picks, J Dub, Clint Star, the diehard MMA podcasters, Jay Peasy, Serious Business, Henry Dice, Ryan Kozlowski, Chris Commentini, ready to get to work. Oz B, Rocks are 82 says, feel like it's going to be a great day of betting. It does. I love the guests we have on the show. I just absolutely love it. I'm just so I'm honored to cap with them. I'm honored to cap with you guys. And when we work together, I don't know how we can be stopped. And 8-6 yesterday, I was like, oh man, should have been better than that. Should have been better than that. And I expect that here. There's Danny Lopez in the house. Deacon Mike laughing at the Friars. Who's not laughing, who's very, very upset about this whole situation is our producer, Jose Buquetti. He's very angry about this situation. Here's my camera not there we go. He's very upset about this situation with Major League Baseball, and it also cost him a second stake to me. And that's the only thing that's keeping me positive through watching this collective bargaining agreement messes. More stakes, more fucking Jose stakes makes me
I'm angry. You want to talk about angry? Rob Manfred, you piece of shit, you garbage human being. Why can't you and your greedy bastards just give us a bone? Throw me a bone. Let us bet on this baseball game. But no, you want to fuck us. You want to fuck us right in the butt.
That's usually when someone says fuck, it doesn't follow with but. If you're going to start with coarse language, you don't want to soften it up there at the punch, at the big spot. But I understand you're a younger man and maybe you use the word but remember in the future, if you're going to say fuck, you're going to want to hit something harder than but at the end of that. Ron Crawford in the house. We got Brian Watson ready to go. Deacon. Okay, we are Kyle Loving, Auburn. There's CT Bays in the house. Jacqueline Martin ready to get to work. Melvin Betances. It has been too long. Says, good morning. Haven't been around because of new job one. Say hello and cash some tickets. Best of luck to everyone. Leche, says Melvin Betances. Much love to you. Much love to you. Nats says, is it the 24th yet? God, I'm so pumped up. There's Dennis Garcia, Michigan Mel. Danny A, 0-2 last night in NBA. Had Brown and Smart to get over 10 assists. Of course, Brown goes down 3 minutes in. Yeah. Celtics Raptors -3.5, and Raps blew that for me. Yeah, it was It was a tricky card, but we're going to bounce back. We're going to bounce back today. There's Mark Schillingberg, Von Polo. Okay, it's time to get to work. Locke Bresner ready to get to work. Cabby. Dan Kelly says, I'm a little behind. Should have middled that Lakers team total over at halftime. I knew the Lakers suck. And Fauner Park runs on Saturday. You're right, Deacon. You're right. And Von Polo been killing NBA. Okay, we got to get to work. Cashman, North Ender, Nilo says pigeon party day in the sun on that balcony. Yeah, it's horrific out there. I'm trying to move out and just let someone else deal with it, but instead I guess I got to get some cleaners to come out and kind of just get rid of the horrific shit and semen out there. God, these pigeons, they party, man. They party. I mean, we're going to try to party as hard as them when we're down in San Antonio. Josh Easley says, for real, college baseball, no bets. Not from me, sadly, and I apologize. But just covering all of the records and capping the 30 games a day is very difficult. Fucking so hard, dude. So hard. Ron Crawford cashed with the Pistons yesterday in his spreadsheet play of the day, and there's the nuke worker. First chance to drop in from Treasure Island. Nuke worker, Slatsy is over at Mandalay Bay. You're at Treasure Island. Slatsy's at Mandalay Bay. You guys should meet up for a beer. Nuke worker and Slatsy both on the strip there. Diehard says, I can't believe the Red Wings had four third field goals, screwed a 30-1 parlay, needed the under 6.5. It was very upsetting. Okay, I love you guys. There's Nolly Knows back in action with us, fresh off that 5-2 week 2 weeks ago. So great to have Nolly Knows back. Oh, you're in Florida at Treasure Island. Okay, sorry, I thought you meant Treasure Island Casino. I knew that you were going down to Florida anyways. My fault. All right, here we go. A huge day of sports action awaits. Let's get right to work and bring on your first guest of the show, coming to us from dirty Belleville, Ontario. Please welcome Mr. Gogster.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing today? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how we doing? A little lack of sleep, but we're ready to fire coffees in us, espresso, pumping out the winners, coming off no picks last night, Jimmy. I didn't even have any action, probably the first time in my young career, but let's go, guys. How we doing today?
Let's get right after it. We're doing well, and Mr. Gogster will be crashing at the old Pigeon Fuck spot here the night before we head to San Antonio, so you get to meet the kids. You'll get to see the aforementioned balcony. You will get to stay here in Parkdale, and I'll keep you safe.
Ghoster's opinion on us, by the way, Jimmy. He's the hockey guy. Get his opinion on your heavy set legs and your weak ankles.
Sure. I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid of that at all. We will.
Let's leave that for another day there.
Well, we do have a little while to cap that because there is some side action going on. I am racing Jose 1 lap in hockey skates, 1 lap in figure skates, and Prince Vicity and Ski Profit are playing Dutch Boy Fresh and J Money in 2-on-2. And that hasn't been confirmed by all parties, by the way, but most parties have confirmed that.
Are you a fast skater, Jimmy? Are you a fast skater?
I was. I haven't been playing competitively in quite some time. But I mean, I can skate. You
can stop. You can skate backwards. You can,
What are you talking about, Ghoster? Who the fuck are you talking about? Who are you talking to? Stop, skate backwards.
All right,
save those fucking questions for Jose.
Jose, right. You're in trouble.
Stop, skate backwards. The fuck you think I did all my life? Jesus Christ.
All
right, let's get to work here. We start at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Buffalo Sabres 16-30 and 8-16 on the 4, 8-16 and 4 on the road at Toronto Maple Leafs 35-14 and 4, 19-5-1 at home. Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Ontario. Craig Anderson 6-7-0, 3.01 goals against average, 905 save percentage, no shutouts. Peter Mrazek on the other side 9-4-0, 3.07 goals against average, 890. Goals against average, 895 save percentage. Sorry,
I got you flattered with that, Jimmy. I got you flattered.
You did. But also, we are both fighting. This is not easy capping these whole cards and doing records. This is a fucking grind, man. Buffalo 19.2% power play, 76.6% penalty killing. Toronto 29.2% power play, 84.7% penalty killing. The Sabres opened up as plus 330 dogs. Right now, you can get them between points bet has them at plus 305, Caesars plus 310, FanDuel plus 320. It says DraftKings has them at plus 350. I find that surprising that they would be, so off from the other market spots. Leafs open up at minus 385. They're now around minus 400, up to minus 425. That's crazy. Look, I know they're a much better hockey team and Sabres are losing, but that's nuts.
No,
this total at 6.5 was minus 115 to the over. It's now minus 110. That surprises me. You know, if they're going to take the vig away from an over here, I still think the Buffalo Sabres play that type of hockey. Sabres coming off their 6th straight loss, 4-2 at Dallas on Sunday night. Leafs coming off their 3rd straight win, 5-3 at Washington on Monday. The Leafs first. They've scored 15 goals over their past 2 games. But Johnny Tavares is not one of them. He's got no goals in his last 13 games. He did have 2 assists Monday. He has 10 assists during the drought, but he's not looked good out there, and there's a ton of money left to pay him over the next 3 years. Michael Bunting, though, he looks great on that top line. 19 goals this year, 3 goals in 4 games. Mitch Marner had 6 assists in that 10-goal outburst by the Leafs on Saturday. He got 2 more assists on Monday. He's 11 points his last 4 games. Austin Matthews did not practice Tuesday, but just a maintenance day. Andre Cachet is not going to play tonight. Take it away here, Mr. Gogster. I've only made 1 bet on this card. Take it away, Sabres, Leafs.
So I'm guessing you don't have anything on this game?
I do not.
Nothing. Okay. Yeah. This one here, guys, it's the line's crazy. I don't mind plus 300 for Buffalo. That's just like no, right away. No, put the brakes on right away. Hard, get the shift break if you got a standard. Also, there's going to be question marks for Dermott. I got him questionable too. So without Dermott, that could be another bit of a, he's been playing a lot better actually. Looking at his plus minus here for Dermott, he's plus 6 on the year, Jimmy. So that's a good sign for Dermott. I know he was burned a lot in the past, so having him would help the defensive core for Toronto. With that being said, guys, Buffalo is not. They're not like they're an awful team. Just looking at what they've done their last few games: 2 against Dallas, 3 against St. Louis, 0 against Montreal, just laid an egg. 3 against Columbus, 3 against Colorado. They're good enough to score, guys. Looking at what they do period wise, 19 goals in the first, 31 in the second, and then only 16 in the third. So you could see Buffalo being up in this game, or even it being close, but then Toronto kind of clamping down because 16 goals in the third period. That's on the road. That's not going to get it done. And their best period for Buffalo on the road, guys, is the first period. Only 25 goals allowed, Jim, compared to 41 in the second and 34 in the third. Looking at Toronto goals per period, 29 in the first, 24, 31. And they only allow 21 in the first, 15 in the second, 24 in the third. So they're definitely the better of the 2 teams, just looking at their goals per period there, Jimmy. Mrazek, surprisingly, I was heckling this guy. I was giving him shit. He's 5-0 at home, buddy. He's 5-0 at home with a .912 save percentage of 2.66 goals against. So definitely a better home goalie of when you're looking at splits. Anderson hasn't been the best. With that being said, guys, I'm not giving too many cases here for Buffalo, Jimmy. But I am going to be on Buffalo first period. This is just kind of as a Leaf fan, you guys see I got all the gear on here. I think, Jimmy, that Buffalo always gives them fits too, brother. With Mrazek in net, he's a guy I still don't trust. I've seen Buffalo. I just went over the goals there, guys. They can certainly score. And in the first period, I do think they can not so much take advantage, but come out hot. I got them. I know you hate this, Jimmy. I know you're going to look at this and be like, Gogster. I took it originally. It was plus 232 in the first period, Jimmy. I did turn that into a minus 105. So it is plus first period, guys, plus 0.5, minus 105 on Buffalo.
I don't hate that, by the way, Gogster. That's just very little vig you're paying.
Yeah.
I don't despise it. You're not turning it into a big favorite or anything like that. Are you surprised that there's no vig or no juice on the over 6.5 or minus 110? Are you surprised at that?
6.5. I thought it was at what did I have here? I was hoping to get 6. So yeah, it was 6.5. Just the way Mrazek's been, like I could see what I'm predicting in this game, guys, is going to happen is Buffalo's going to come up with a strong first, and as the game goes on, Toronto's they're going to clamp down. Because if you look at Anderson, the problem with Anderson, he hasn't been that great on the road. 3-5, 0.883 save percentage, 3.76 goals against. You're playing against a Toronto team, there could be goals. I'd be leaning more towards the over, Jim, but I always like capping the line before, guys. And when I had it to be a 6 and it's a 6.5, you're kind of a little more hesitant, to put the gas on the pedal. So I'm just gonna stick with the first period plus 0. plus 0.5, minus 105 for Buffalo. 1-1, 0. I doubt it's 0-0. Even if you guys take first period on Buffalo to score a goal, that's minus 114 in the first. I don't mind that. Just a little less juice there, minus 105. Tie game, 1-1, even 1-0 Buffalo. Yeah, I'm going to rock with it.
Nilo liking it. Dennis Garcia liking your spot. Says it's so tempting, that first period plus a half. I get it. I get
just
it.
The way Buffalo, sorry to cut you off, Jim. Just the way Buffalo's been playing too, brother. They've been losing what you said last 6 games. So they're kind of they're not going to the playoffs, obviously, but still they got. I think they're going to come out strong in the first.
It's going to be sold out too at the Air Canada Center for the first time in a long time.
I didn't bring that up. Yeah,
I feel like that leads us towards goals. And by the way, I've watched. Like, look, it's not that Mrazek's playing that well, really. It's that his competition in net, Campbell, is playing so bad.
Yeah,
I mean, he's just playing so badly, and Mrazek's still giving out tons of rebounds. Like, he's so sloppy with his rebounds. You can flick it in, from just inside the red line, and he'll still pass it back out with, it's
like a kernel popping out of a microwave. Like, it just fucking pop.
He's very clumsy. Mike M says Sabres average loss is over 3 goals a game. Why not rock Toronto minus 2.5 for team total over 4.5 at plus money? Brian Warner loving the over in Buffalo plus a half first period. Sammy Comics says over 6.5 is 8-3 in the last 11 meetings. I'm just a little surprised that this 6.5 hasn't been pushed to the over. And Buffalo, let's just see right now. Just so we know, there's 71%. There's 3,669 tickets. 71% of the tickets are on the under, and 99% of cash.
With all the crowd stuff, with all the fan, like when you think of fans in Toronto, it doesn't go too well. It's usually disappointment a lot of the time. And as much as the crowd is you think it's gonna help Toronto, as much as you look at Toronto guys, the more the crowd, it's just more pressure for the players. And if you look at Mrazek 5-0, that was with barely any fans. Throw some fans screaming in there. I swear, it's you know what, the line's definitely off. I would, one of the guys in the chat were saying Toronto minus 2.5. I'd be leaning more towards, I think Sammy Calmer said it, like a Buffalo plus 2. Even a Buffalo team total over 2.5. I saw that at plus money. I'd lean that way as well. I do think Buffalo scores some goal. Like, I think they're gonna have a good performance here. And with Mrazek, he has been 5-0, but Jimmy said it with these fans coming in. It's gonna. I think it's not a good thing for Toronto. Sorry, I'm humming and hawing. Yoki Haru too is out. Miller, a couple guys for Buffalo on the defensive end. But looking at their offense, they're pretty much still intact in offense. So,
and that Sabres plus 2. We got to get off this game and move on. But the Sabres plus 2 is even money.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't. I'd be more towards Buffalo in this game, guys, than the Toronto Maple Leafs.
All right, let's move past this and move on to the next game. The only game I've already bet, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. St. Louis Blues, 32-14-6, 13-8-4 on the road at the New York Rangers, 33-15-5, 17-5-3. We're at MSG in New York City. Binnington versus Shesterkin. We think it's going to be Binnington because he's coming off that 30-save shutout. In that 30-save shutout, it was a 4-0 win, their 4th straight win for the Blues on Sunday over the Blackhawks. They lost David Perron to a concussion, and he's often, especially on that power play, sort of being the straw that stirs the drink. They're a different team now, but he's been better than I expected him to be the last few years.
Yeah.
Binnington, 13-10-3, 3.12 goals against average, 904 save percentage. That number is going up. And Chesty, 1.95 goals against, 941 save percentage, on his way to a Vezina. St. Louis power play, 27%, penalty killing, 85%. New York Rangers, 25.3% power play, 82.7% penalty killing. And the Rangers come off their 2nd straight loss, 5-2 at home versus Canucks on Sunday. I'm with Dennis Garcia. I'm on the Rangers money line. This actually opened at a plus price. I was shocked.
The Rangers on the money line?
And it's gone 5 cents. God, I got minus 115 on the Rangers, and it's now minus 110. Wow, I did not. I thought this was going to keep moving in the Rangers' direction. This total opened up at 5.5, minus 120 to the over. It's now minus 115 to the under, so expecting a tight game. And then a money line perspective, the Blues, and this is from the Action Network, opened up minus 136, which is shocking to me. It said the Rangers are plus 112. The Rangers are now minus 118 at FanDuel and minus 110 at Caesars and DraftKings. Take it away here, Gogster, Blues, Rangers.
Ooh, this is going to be a real playoff type of game here, guys. Don't be surprised. Well, this would be maybe a long shot, but could even be a Stanley Cup matchup right here. With the come on, Jim. With the goaltenders you got there, you got Husso, old Veal.
Oh, you don't think they'll go back to Binnington after the 30 save shutout?
They could. If they do, I think that's a Rangers line completely. I do. I think Husso, he's been absolutely money on the road here, guys. He's 4-2-2, .931 save percentage, 2.27 goals against. He's been a solid goalie here. It's a small sample size. You have two really good goalies. You have Shesterkin too, the Russian Wall, 14-2-2, unbelievable. Both of these goalies, Jim, whenever I see save percentages above .930, that's a sign you're going to have it's going to be a lower scoring game more times than not. And the line still is 5.5, even at like it's almost plus 100 or minus 105, something like that. Ville. Okay. But yeah, no, I think this one's going to be a tight game here, guys. Like a real just fucking battle game. Just looking at what the Rangers have done, heavy under team. They lost 5-2 and 1-0. Other than that 1-0, then 4-1, 2-1, 3-2, 2-1, 3-2, 3-2, 5-2. So they're more of an under team. Sorry, I'm popping out so many numbers there, Jim. You're probably what's going on? But yeah, this is gonna be a real tight game here, guys. I expect Husso to go. He's had plenty of rest. Last game was against Buffalo, where he won that game. That was 4 days ago, so he's had plenty of rest. Same with Shesterkin too. I have more rest for Igor, the better. He's coming off some rest because Georgiev was in the last game against Vancouver. So look for this to be a tighter game. I'm taking the first period under. I'm sorry, I'm humming and hawing so much. Under 1.5, minus 101. I got that at, guys. I was going to take no goal in the first 9 minutes 30, but could be a goal early and then just kind of nothing in the rest of the first. So let's go with the first period under. I really like this one too. And Razor, I couldn't agree with you more there. You know, they're hammering the Rangers at the home dog price, and I think it's going to be it'd be a Rangers win, especially if it's Binnington. I expect Husso to go.
Wow, I guess you're right, Razor. This concerns me. This concerns me very much that the Rangers haven't moved to minus 120. I thought with Perron out with a concussion and Blues coming off an easy win against a bad team, their fourth straight win against an angry Rangers group, that this would. And thank you to the chat that talked me off of taking the Rangers to win the division. Thank you all. I would have done that if it was just up. If I didn't break everything down with you guys. So thank you very much for that.
I think with hockey though, Jim, we used to say in the past, we don't take too much with the line move. I know we want to, but like in the past, I've been watching you for a long time. You've been crushing the hockey, and we never really focused too much on the line. We kind of, say like, screw them, all right, go against us. We trust our capping, right?
It certainly hasn't been helping me this year because I've been smashing line moves and it's not been paying. There's Nate Dog 420 in the house. Great to see you, Nate Dog. Sun is shining today. And great to see you. Josh Easley says Blues. I'm a little nervous. Steve G says Blues are better, but Rangers have the goalie. And they don't even have the power play. You're right. The St. Louis is better special teams. You're right. All they have really is Shesty. Or not all they have, but where they are better than the Blues is between the pipes. Okay, so we have Gogster on the under 1.5 first period, and I'm on the Rangers money line, and I'm nervous.
I like the Rangers play. I really do like that Rangers play. I really do.
I thought it was the spot. But let's move on. 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Los Angeles Kings 29-18-7, 15-6-5 at Dallas Stars 29-20-3, 19-7-1. American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. It said Johnny Quick. I don't know how they would go back to Johnny Quick after the debacle against Boston. They got to go with Cal Peterson, don't they? 17-6-1. Or sorry, that's Ottinger. Peterson 14-7-1. He's not been very good this year. 2.68 goals against average, 898 save percentage, but I don't go back with Quick after that game. I give Peterson the chance here. If it was up to me, Ottinger is the man in Dallas, and thank God they have one. 17, 6-1, 2.25 goals against average, 923 save percentage, 1 shutout. The Kings special teams are holding them back because I think they're a very good team. And it was very interesting to see them get beaten up by the Bruins because when it was 5-0, Philip Danault, that line, he was a -4. And I was surprised to see it. I was surprised to see the Trevor Moore, Danault line getting just beaten so badly. Very surprised to see it. Dallas power play 23.4%, penalty killing at 78.5%. We have this opening up with the Stars at -152. They're now between -139 and -145. And then the total, which is very interesting, obviously, with the Stars involved, is at 5.5 at a pick'em. There's been a slight move in a few books towards the over. We've been watching the Stars play under hockey. They've tightened up the ship, and when they played the Sabres, I was like, this is a perfect opportunity for me to learn about the Stars team. Because the Sabres play pretty open hockey, and they're easy to score on. Yep. The game should be offensive. And when it was a 4-2 final, I was like, okay, the Stars just don't play that high-scoring hockey anymore, and it made me want to step off of it. Ricky says, went to that game, Jimmy, a lot of goals, no help from the refs either. Oh, that 7-0 game. Okay. And Danny likes the over 2 on this game. And, Ron Crawford liking Dallas. Is that a play of the day, Ron? Let me know if it is. I don't want the over in this spot. This is a hugely important game for the playoffs. The Kings had their 5-game winning streak snapped in that 7-0 loss. The Stars coming off their second win in 3 games, but it was against the Sabres on Sunday night. I don't want to fade the Kings off losing 7-0. I don't want to fade Dallas at home when they're 19-7-1. I don't want to bet the over because the Stars don't seem to be playing that hockey, but they're built for over. So I've done nothing on this spot. Gogster, are you moving on it?
Yeah, I'm taking the first period under 1.5 -103 here, Jimmy. Just looking at 5-on-5. LA Kings, guys, they are the best team on the road on 5-on-5, allowing only 38 goals in 26 games. That's so right away, the Kings play a tight checking game. And Jimmy said it too with Dallas. They're playing a lot, in my opinion, better defensively. First period stats here, guys, 15 goals for LA Kings on the road in the first, 31 and then 26. They're really slow out of the gate, LA on the road, allowing 22 in the first, 21 in the second, 22 in the third. So pretty even there. Looking at Dallas, 26 goals in the first and then 33 and 29. So their lowest outputs in the first period. Same with their goals against, only 20 allowed in the first period. So this is going to be a really tight check and feel it out kind of game, especially when you're coming off a 7-0 loss. I really like this play, guys. First period under 1.5 -103. Athanasiou is questionable. I don't think that's going to be too major. Looking at their power plays too, only 15% and 14% in the month of February and on. So the power plays aren't humming too much. The one issue with LA Kings, they've allowed 20 goals on the road in 26 games on the 4v5. That's on the penalty kill. But they do have an 86% penalty kill in the month of February. So that kind of nullifies it, in my opinion. And with only a 14% from Dallas, I think this is going to be a tighter game. It could even very well go under full game. But just looking at the numbers and kind of how I think this game's going to go, I do like the first period under 1.5 -103 there, guys. That's what I got in the open night.
I get it. Nate Dogg on the other side on the over. This one makes me uncomfortable. Nut Flush Allen talking about whether or not he wants to go over this total or team total over it. This is making me uncomfortable, and I'm doing nothing at this point. Let's move on to the final game on our NHL card before we get into NCAA basketball. That's Nashville Predators, 30-19-4, 15-9-4. On the road at the Kraken, 16-34-5, 9-17-3 at home. We're at Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle, Washington, expecting UC Saros versus Philip Grubauer. I'm surprised that Drieger doesn't get more opportunities because Grubauer does not deserve to be the number one the way they're playing him. 12-23-5, 3.17 goals against average, 888 save percentage, 1 shutout. Saros, 25-16-3, 2.46 goals against average, 923 save percentage, 2 shutouts. His numbers are dropping slightly. Nashville does not look as good over since the All-Star break. 23.9% power play, 79.5% penalty killing. Seattle, 15.1% power play, 77.1% penalty killing. Oh, nice. Kev is going to be ready to go for us for the big Saturday show. Kev. So excited about that. So We have this total opening up at 5.5. It was juiced to the over at -120. It's now coming back towards the under. I guess that surprises me a little, but if I was on the over, I wouldn't be that confident. You have the Predators opening up at -186. You can now get them all the way down to 165 and up to 188. There's huge difference in the market. This is two teams I don't want to back. And Nashville had their 2-game winning streak snapped in a 3-2 loss at home to Tampa. That was in their at Nissan Stadium in the outdoor series in front of 68,000 fans. I almost don't count that as a real situation. The Kraken came in off their 7th straight loss, 3-1 at San Jose on Sunday night. They're not a good hockey team. No. And in saying that, I don't want to back either team here. Are you moving on the Predators, Kraken?
Right when I woke up today, I said, you know what? I think Nashville does win this one, guys. They've played Tampa Bay, Dallas, Carolina, Washington, Winnipeg. A lot of offense there, Jimmy, those 5 teams. Now they're playing Seattle, who just doesn't have as much. But the thing is, Seattle, they do play a lot better at home. And it's as the game goes on. I'm going to be breaking down first, second, thirds again really quickly here. 15 goals in the first, 28 in the second, 33 in the third. Looking at what Nashville does, Jimmy, they allow a lot of goals, 25, 29, 32, first, second, third. I do think this is going to be an over game. Grubauer and Saros, he is obviously one of the better of the 2 goalies, but on the road, I do think he is susceptible. He has a 2.88 goals against, almost at 3. I'm going to play the full game over, guys. Not so much the first period. I don't mind that there, Sammy, that regulation. But I do think I think Seattle's going to, they've lost 1, 2, 3, 4. They've lost so many damn games. They're going to be at home, though. 59 goals against in 28 games, 5-on-5 for Nashville on the road, Jimmy. It was like top 5 of one of the worst. And then you got 72 in 29 games, 5-on-5 from Seattle. That's just, gas can city. So I think there's going to be goals here, guys. Despite the power plays aren't humming, but the penalty kills are pretty ass too, 68% and 77 in the month of February and on. So I'm going to trust this one. As the game goes on, we're going to see more goals and over 5.5. I got it at -117. So if you can get it at -110 or -105, I jump on that now. I like the over.
It's a great point being made by Johnny K with Jared McCann. I mean, he's this Corsi darling that they have on the team, and he was, supposed to be the head of the snake here. And with him out, how is this power play going to do anything?
Yeah, I hear it. He's -21. I look -21 for McCann.
The whole team is but Jared McCann and Jaden Schwartz, they're your 2 power play guys. They're out of the lineup. That's it. But Henry Dice says over 5.5 is the easiest bet on the board.
I'm trusting the numbers, and if you look at Seattle, that'd be the only thing. You worry about the output of how many goals they can get by Saros and company. But and if Carrier is not going to be in, he's questionable. Same with Boritsky, or whatever his name is, the big guy from Ottawa. So those 2 guys are questionable, possibly missing some guys in the back end for Nashville too. Just on the road too, these guys have, just looking at their past games, they've allowed so many goals, even to shitty teams. So it is crunch time, but I do think, it is a Nashville or pass in my opinion, but I do think there's going to be goals. I'm going to trust the numbers over 5.5, guys.
All righty, let's review action here. I am only on the New York Rangers. That's my only spot here. Spreadsheet play of the day has come in, and it is on the Dallas Stars. Our guy Ron Crawford on the Dallas Stars. And then Mr. Gogster is on the Blues Rangers first period under 1.5 at -101. Buffalo first period plus a half -105. Kings Dallas first period under 1.5 -103. And Nashville Seattle full game over 5.5 -117. Follow our guy on Twitter. His Twitter handle is right there. He will be back in action with us again tomorrow with a big card. Mr. Gogster, thank you so much for sharing your hard work and insights with us, my man. Have a very profitable day and can't wait to do this again with you tomorrow, my man.
See you guys tomorrow. Get that cash.
There he is, Mr. Gogster in the house. We go from the ice to the hard court, and we welcome back a spectacular capper. He did his first 2 shows with us 2 weeks back, and he went 5-2. 5-2 with us. He is plus 2.81 units. So he's opened up with an ROI of over 40%. And we're so excited to have him back in action. Please welcome back from Long Beach, California. Nolly knows in the house. Nolly, what's happening?
What's going on, Jimmy? It's always a pleasure to be here with you in Pub Sports. Thank you for having me, and hopefully we continue to get some winners here.
Yes, let's get right to it. Can't wait to have you here. And I see that you're focusing on the Northeast Conference tournament with 2 of your spots in the quarterfinals. And I love what you did 2 weeks ago. We're very excited to have you back. Nolly getting the love from the chat. There's T-Mac, Steve G. We got Jeff Slaughter, Juan Ruiz in the house, Puzzler. And Remo says, load up the underbets, boys. Let's get right to work. I'm going to pull up the odds that we will be dealing with here, and we get started with Nolly knows in the Northeastern Conference quarterfinal. Central Connecticut Blue Devils 8-23, 5-13 in conference at the Bryant Bulldogs 19-9, 16-2 in conference. We are in Smithfield, Rhode Island for this one. Let me pull it up. Sorry, God, I hate using this one. Okay, let's move over to Central Connecticut and see what we are dealing with. We have Central Connecticut opening up as 16.5-point dogs. That has moved to 17. Let me move over to the total. You know what? I should just have all markets on. Let me fix that here in a second after I get through this one. This total opened up at 147.5. And BetMGM's dropped it to 146.5. Other books still have it up. DraftKings has it at 148.5. Bet Rivers at 148. Sugar House at 148 as well. Central Connecticut opened the conference tournament on Monday by snapping their 5-game losing streak, barely getting by Fairleigh Dickinson, 67-66 as 5-point dogs. Rochester native, Dirty Chester native, Nigel Scantlebury, continues his strong play. They have nice guard play, 19 points, 6 boards, 5 assists. Bryant closed their regular season on Saturday with their 4th straight win, 78-70 at home over Wagner's 5-point favorites. And we know what Peter Kiss does. He scores the basketball. He went for 23 points in that final regular season contest. Take it away, Nolly, your first game on the board, Central Connecticut, Bryant.
Yeah, crazy thing about this matchup is that feels like deja vu for me because this exact matchup I gave out in a previous appearance. I think it was a Wednesday game. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm reiterating a lot of the same things. The fact that they're going to sit here and still throw out 147 points with this Central Connecticut State team. This is a Central Connecticut State team that their team totals, their games haven't reached this total at all. Their one game since January 5th has eclipsed this number, and they're going to continue to put out this number. And why? Mainly because of Bryant. Bryant does push a bit of a tempo. Field goal attempts per game, they rank 19th in the nation with 62.6. But if you look as a whole, as a team, they're not as great as you might think. They are pretty much a one-man crew with Peter Kiss. Peter Kiss is the leading scorer in the nation, has scored 30 points 9 different times. Last time out here against Central Connecticut State, he put up 33 points. He shot really well, 15-24. But when we look at the rest of the team, 11-40, just 27.5%. Bryant on the season ranks 229th in field goal percentage, just 42.9%. So not a team that is very efficient. They try to push the tempo, but it's going to be a little bit different here with Central Connecticut State. This is a great under team. I talked about it last time. A big reason, field goal attempts and possessions per game. They rank 315th in the nation in field goal attempts per game, just 54.5, and possessions per game, 264th. Even better for my totals, field goal percentage, 39.6, under 40%. There's only a handful of teams that shoot worse than them. And the last 3 games, they've shot even worse, just 37%. So like I mentioned, Central Connecticut State, a team that I like to the under, 21-9 on the season, 70% rate to the under. And here the last 5 games in Bryant in this matchup have stayed under the total, and 6 of the last 8 total matchups between these two teams have stayed under the total. I think 147 is just asking too much of this matchup, and I got to stay under once again.
And we can get you a 148. The 148.5 is at minus 120 over at DraftKings, but the under 148 at Bet Rivers at Sugar House is at minus 108. How's that sound?
Yeah, I like that juice. 108 better, much better.
All right, we have Nolly on the board under 148 at minus 108. And there's Unc Oliver says, need some birthday picks so I can birthday kick some ass from Uncle Oliver. Respect, Uncle Oliver. Happy birthday, my man. Uncle Oliver, a.k.a. Lucky Lefty. You've had our back since I started with Loshak, and we love you, man. Hopefully you can run down to San Antonio and hang with us. But happy birthday to you. May it be a great, great year ahead of you. And thank you for all that you do for us and for all the cappers that get to work alongside you every day. Much love to you, Uncle Oliver in the house. And the Tease's Empty the Coffers play is the same one. And Tease has just been cashing. And now he's been sharing the Empty the Coffers play of the day with us every day. And we have the Empty the Coffers play of the day from Tease and Nolly's opening bet here. Under in the quarterfinals of the Northeast Conference Tournament, Central Connecticut, Bryant, and they are on the board. So I'm going to get Nolly nose under 148 minus 108 and get Tease's look right underneath. All right, we are in business. Let's keep rolling. Next up for us is Duquesne Dukes at George Washington. Let me get this market up here. Come on, show. There we go. We are ready to go. Duquesne Dukes 6-21, 1-14 in the A10. They've lost 14 straight games. They are playing terrible basketball. At the George Washington Colonials, 11-16, 7-8 in conference. We're at the Charles E. Smith Center in Washington, D.C. We have Duquesne opening up as 6-point dogs. That's expanding. They're now 7.5 at FanDuel and BetMGM. You can get 7 still at other spots. This total opened up at 136.5. We see it dropping. There's 135.5s available, some 135s, and DraftKings has dropped it to 134.5. Duquesne, as I said, 14 straight losses, coming in off a 70-54 loss on Saturday at Rhode Island as 12.5-point dogs. Both teams here come in shooting abysmal. Duquesne shot 32.7% from the field, and the coach so disillusioned with these bums. No starter scored more than 7 points. It was the bench players who actually put up a few points for this terrible squad. George Washington comes in off their second straight loss, 69-62 at George Mason on Sundays, 11-point dogs, and they shot just 33.3% from the field. Take it away here, Nolly. Duquesne, George Washington.
Yeah, you mentioned it, how bad Duquesne has been. It's not Duquesne for some of those. I do use that to spell it, but Duquesne has been awful. You know, you mentioned it, but they've been awful pretty much for most of the year. On the season, 39.6% field goal percentage. That's 343rd in the nation. In the last 3 games, shooting just 35%. That is just brutal. That would make them dead last in the nation. And a team that's possessions per game, 269. So the probability of you scoring is low, and then plus you can't score. So that's why I focused on this game. But you mentioned those straight losses, 14 straight A10 game losses. But not just that, their last 7 games, they've lost all by double digits. So here, going on the road to face George Washington on senior night, it's going to be a tough task. And a big problem that they faced last time was an inability to put the ball in the bucket, but not just from close range, but also from deep. George Washington is a good defensive team from 3-point line. They allowed just 30%. And against this team with Duquesne, they allowed just 1 3-pointer made in 21 attempts. 1 for 21, and 2 teams that really don't go to the free throw line much. They don't attack the bucket much. So another good probability of this clock continue to run and not to allow free throws. That's a big thing that I see. Talked about it being senior night, and I also talk about George Washington. They also have an inability to put the ball in the bucket. They rank 257th in the nation. 42.3% field goal percentage, and the last 3 shooting just under 40%. So it's time to clamp down. You've seen it. I'm going to these tournaments for a reason. You know, effort is going to be there. Effort will equate to defense, and that's what I like here in this matchup. If you look on the season, Duquesne is 15-12 to the under, but they've stayed under 5 of the last 6 games. And for George Washington, 16-11 to the under. 4 of the last 6 have stayed under the total. More importantly, in the matchup, 2 of the last 3 matchups in George Washington have stayed under, and 4 of the last 5 matchups have also stayed under the total. Only one way I look here, and that's going under.
That is the look. I get it. I get it. Can somebody on BetMGM, I'll pull it up too. It's saying here that there's a 135.5 available at BetMGM. I'd love to know if that is legit. It probably is. So we're likely going to give you that 135.5. There are a couple 134.5s, but the main books that we look to for market movement have all moved it to 133.5. So let's see if we can get a little more here for Nolly knows, and I'll pull up BetMGM as well. All right, so we have 2 games in the books for Nolly knows. Let's move on to more Northeast Conference Tournament quarterfinal action, 7 p.m. Eastern. St. Francis of Brooklyn, the Terriers, 10-19, 7-11 in conference at Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers, 13-15, 9-9 in conference. We're at Knott Arena in Emmitsburg, Maryland, for this Mount St. Mary's action here. Let's see what we got here with the odds. Knowing I'll be pulling it up here shortly. Apologies. It's our main site is down once again, so causing a bit of a pain finding these games here, and I have it here. So St. Francis opening up as 5.5-point dogs. That's moved to 6.5 or 7, depending on where you shop. And then from a total perspective, it's going up. It opened at 125.5, juiced pretty heavily to the under, and now we see 126s and 126.5s on the board. St. Francis closed the regular season on Saturday with their second straight loss, 72-52 at home to Merrimack as 2-point favorites. It was strange. They were clearly looking ahead. It was a meaningless spot for them, and they were looking ahead. They shot just 35.6% from the field. Mount St. Mary's closed up the regular season on Saturday with an impressive 65-46 win at Central Connecticut as 5.5-point favorites, and it snapped a 3-game losing streak. They held Central Connecticut to 27.7% shooting. Take it away here at Nolly. St. Francis of Brooklyn against Mount St. Mary's.
Yeah, you mentioned here once again, we talked about St. Francis team, another team that's really struggling to put the ball in the bucket. A team ranks 323rd in the nation, barely reaching over 40% from the field. And in the last 3, shooting 37.9% from the field. So really having a tough time to put the ball in the bucket. And you saw it in the last time in the last matchup when they combined for 119 points. You saw St. Francis shooting actually higher than normal, but really a low number of shots because of the pace of play. Mount St. Mary's running a slow tempo, possessions per game, just they're 309th in the nation with just 67.5 possessions, and a team that's played pretty good defense on the year. I mentioned it, I believe, last time out, but 2 teams have held their opponents to under 45% from the field. So 2 numbers that I like to see. And they don't shoot very many threes. St. Mary's on the year shooting just 17 threes. I believe that's 319th in the nation, if I remember correctly. And so those are the probabilities that I like to see. And then here, more recently down the stretch, Mount St. Mary's is really playing well defensively. 6 of the last 7 games have stayed under the total. And on the other side for St. Francis as well, 6 of the last 8 games staying under the total. And a number range here in the 125 range, I somewhat expect them to go up. With something that I mentioned the last time I was here on the show. A lot of this 120 range, some of these guys are automatically betting to the over. So if there's a game that I like in the 120 range, I will always wait till the day of, because more likely than not, it's not going to go down. It's going to go up. And it seems like they're blindly doing it. So once again here, there's only one way for me to look, and that's under the total. These games get tighter. It's going to be a lot more effort. This might be their only chance to make the tournament, and they don't want to let that slip away. So only one way to look for me, and that's under the total.
Under the total, I will line shop for you. That was the stale line, by the way, the 135.5, but we did get you a 134.5, which is a full point higher than most books. That's Duquesne, George Washington. For St. Francis and Mount St. Mary's, it's all 126.5 and minus 110. I'd love to see if I get you a little less juice. Why don't we see if we can get that over here at Pinnacle? Let's see if we can get that for you. St. Mary's there, 120, damn, 126. Okay, so the only way to get the hook is to pay minus 110. So let's get you the under 126.5 at minus 110 for Nolly knows. All right, let's break down the last game on Nolly's card, 10 p.m. Eastern, and we head over to the WAC for the Chicago State Cougars, 7-22, 3-13 in conference. at Cal Baptist Lancers. We're in Riverside, California, and I imagine that Nut Flush Allen and the family will be at the CBU Event Center for this one. Let's see what we are dealing with from a market perspective. Move down to the bottom here. For this, we have Chicago State opening up at plus 13. We have 13.5s and 14s here. This total opened up at 139.5, and it is dropping. We see 138.5s and 138s. And there's Not Flush Allen. Perfect time because we're talking about your Lancers. Chicago State snapped their 9-game losing streak on Saturday with a shocking 61-59 win over New Mexico State as 17-point dogs. Brandon Betson went for 17 points and 8 assists in the win. Cal Baptist comes off their third loss in 4 games, 63-54 at Utah Valley on Saturday, 6.5-point dogs. This is an interesting one. Take it away, Nolly. Chicago State, Cal Baptist.
Oh, yeah. It's a very interesting game here with Cal Baptist losing to Chicago State last time out on the road. Really having a tough time to put the ball in the bucket, really, but a lot of turnovers, 11 turnovers in that game. And really, you look at some of the stat numbers, you're kind of surprised that they lost. Offensive rebounds were a struggle for them. But what I've seen here down the stretch in the last few games, is the defense stepping up here for Cal Baptist. And you've seen it with the totals perspective. 7 of the last 8 games have stayed under the total and not even close, staying under the total by an average of 14.6 points. So a team that really has changed their mentality and changed the style of play which they're playing and focusing more on the defensive end. And to me, it seems like the line makers just aren't catching up. The first matchup here, the total was lined at 144 points. They made a slight adjustment here to 140. And to me, it's just not enough. The first matchup, 114 total points, 51 attempts shot up by Cal Baptist, and something similar that I expect here in this home game. Total on the season, field goal attempts per game, they rank 267th in the nation with 55.7. So they're right there on pace to where the type of game that they're going to run, and I'd expect something similar here at home. So I don't understand why you're still going to be laying under around 140, especially when Cal Baptist has been staying under the number by so much. Still on the season, Chicago State, earlier in the season, they were a much more profitable team to the under. Here later, they did give you some under, did produce more overs down the stretch, but of adjustment from the line makers. But on the season, still possessions per game, just 69.8. And field goal attempts, just 55.8, good for 260th in the nation. So the way these two teams match up and the way that they match up in their slow pace of play and really inability to put the ball in the net from the three, you look at each one of them shooting under 35% from three, shoot under about 20 of them. So really a low percentage, I think, for this, low probability of this number going over. And I mentioned 5 straight unders for Cal Baptist, and that's the trend that I'm going to continue to ride here.
I love it. I love it. It's also on Matty Ice's card, so you're rolling with sweet taint. And we love having you back on the show, Nolly. We love watching you work, and you're 5-2 so far on the show, and we love it. We love it. So let's review Nolly Knows his action here. He gets his day started on correlated action with the Empty the Coffers play from our man Tease. We have Nolly on the under 148 at minus 108 in Central Connecticut. Brian. Jordy Nordman says Nolly making unders great again. He's on the under 134.5 minus 110 in Duquesne, George Washington. The under 126.5 in St. Francis and Mount St. Mary's, and the under 138.5 at Chicago State at Cal Baptist. Follow our man on Twitter at Nolly Knows, and it is great to have you back in action. Look forward to capping more with you, my friend. Any last words for the cappers supporting the show?
Oh man, just thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure to be here, and remember to bet those unders.
There he is. Nolly Knows in the house. We stay in college basketball. We go from Nolly Knows over to the star of our 5 p.m. Eastern NCAA basketball show, Net Profits. Please welcome, direct from Las Vegas, Nevada, Conor Mack in the house. Miggity, Mac Daddy. What's happening, my man?
Let's rock, Jim. I'm up. It's early. I'm ready to roll. Let's go, baby.
You have to fight the good fight over on the West Coast. We thank you for joining us. There's Talk Sports with JT. JT, we have missed you. It is great to see you. Spenny Pennybomb says 3 more days, Jimmy. Big weekend ahead. C-Mac, can you roll with us when Santa Anita comes around on Saturday?
Yeah, I will be.
I know
Yep.
it's such a busy day for you, but if you can,
I will be there in the later, in Santa Anita. I'll be there for sure. For sure. Wouldn't miss
beautiful.
it.
All right, we have C-Mac in business, and we get started right away with a big one in the SEC. Texas A&M Aggies, 18-11, 7-9 in conference at the number 25 ranked Alabama Crimson Tide, 19-10, 9-7 in conference. There's Raven in the desert in the house. Great to see you, Raven. We are at Coleman Coliseum in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Let's pull out the market that we are dealing with. This game again pops off at 7 p.m. and it is a big one. We have Texas A&M opening up at plus 9.5. They've moved to 10 or 10.5, depending on where you shop. And this total opened up at 153.5, and this dropped slightly. You can still get a 153.5, but there are 153s and 152.5s on the board. Texas A&M comes in off their second straight win, 76-66 at Ole Miss as 2-point dogs on Saturday. Alabama comes in off an easy 90-71 win at home over South Carolina on Saturday as 11-point favorites. First game on the board for C-Mac. Take it away, Texas A&M, Alabama.
Yeah, I thought this was an interesting spot here with this Alabama team that I don't think is very good. Shout out to the chat. Hey, it's a little early for me, Nutflesh. I mean, shit. I mean, but not for everyone. I'm not that 5 a.m. type of guy. I'm up later. Anyways, let's keep rolling here. Texas A&M, Jimmy, Alabama. I don't trust this team at home. I know they just beat South Carolina and got a cover, 90-71. I stayed off that game. I believe they were 11-point favorites in that one. They got the cover. All year long, though, this is a team, doesn't play much defense, scores a ton of points. This could get over. I know this line's kind of stayed the same, maybe even gone down just a tad bit. But you got to think this is at least in the 70s, this game. Alabama's that bad defensively, but they're very good offensively. The problem is they can't shoot. They make 9 threes a game, but they shoot 31%. I can't have that in a team laying points. And they have been horrible ATS all year laying points here, Jimmy. They're 4-16. And that's after winning their last one. They were 3-16, getting that cover against South Carolina. A&M's been pretty good all year. They started out like 11-0. They went in kind of a skid in conference play, but they've won 3 of their last 4. I think this is just too many points here. I'll take Buzz Williams. I'll take the 10.5 if you can get it. I think there's a couple out there. I don't trust a team in Alabama that scores 80 points, Jimmy, and gives up 76. That always makes you pause after all my years of doing this, laying points with a team like Bama. You're taking especially double digits. So if you can give me 10 in the hook here, I will take A&M tonight.
Yeah, I get it, especially off such an easy victory against weak competition. You have to think that this is going to be more difficult. You can get that plus 10.5 at minus 108. What do you think about these dogs between, let's say, 8 and 11 points compared to the 15, 16-point dogs? Which dogs do you find you want to focus on first halves rather than full games? Is there a point difference for you? Like when you have a 9-point dog where you're like, oh, I prefer to have a full game with this squad. Or if you have a 16-point dog, you prefer first halves with them because they can keep it close early and then sort of fall apart late. And then the opposite can happen with a 20, 22-point dog, when they get crushed early, but in the second half, the starters all rest for the team that's way ahead. Is there a certain point difference that appeals to first half bets more than full games?
Real quick, not too much on first half in full games. I guess if you could always get, I was talking about it yesterday with a few of the guys. It's I'd rather have a home team double-digit dog at home than on the road for most situations. But in the SEC, I talked about it yesterday. Georgia was a perfect example. You played it, right, Jimmy? I saw you. I didn't. That was one of the games I stayed off. I had a really good day except for SC last night. And I left Georgia off because I had a ton of plays in the end. I had like 6. But that was if they were on the road, I wouldn't have laid that. Or maybe you take that first half, yesterday. Let's say it was flipped. they were on the road. You take Georgia first half because they might stay in it, or it's too tough in college basketball. These guys that do first half, I got to give a shout out to Tease. He's great at it. If you can kind of just cap that side of it, and only dig into that. But I'm too much into full game because I've gotten too much burned over the years, knowing what team's going to get off the bus. You know what I mean? Especially on the road or at home. So it's difficult for me. But here in the SEC, I talked about it, a little different. They are on the road, but I don't trust this Bama team laying these points. They just, when they're that bad defensively, I think the back door's always open, especially with double digits here. So I'm going to take it.
I thought I was going to get screwed with Georgia yesterday. That first 10 minutes of the second half, I was like, I should have bet it first half. But then they came on and had a nice little run there.
Yep.
But I thought it was one of those situations where with the middling dogs for me, like between 11 and 15 points, I find the first half cashes. Now, this is just, I don't have numbers to back it up. I wish, we know that I hate saying anything without numbers to back it up because we have Dan Kelly, with his database where he backs up what he says with numbers. But I find that first half just cash with these guys more because they sort of get hurt late. There's Preston Burke in the house. Tease giving you love. Over the pants butt stuff 69 in the house as well. And we have CMAC on the board. Texas A&M plus 10.5 at minus 108 available right now at Pinnacle. And we move on to the next spot for CMAC, and we head over to the A10 for this. Let's get this game up here. The A10, we have the St. Louis Billikens 19-10, 10-6 in conference at the Rhode Island Rams 14-3, 5-10 in conference. Let's get this up here. Here we go. St. Louis opening up as 3-point favorites. That's moved to 2.5 at most books. And this total opened up at 135. We see 134s and 134.5s on the board. St. Louis comes in off their second loss in 3 games, a 68-66 setback at Richmond on Friday as 3-point dogs. Rhode Island snapped their 3-game losing streak with a 70-54 win at home over Duquesne on Saturday as 12.5-point favorites. Take it away here, CMAC. Your second game on board, St. Louis, Rhode Island.
Yeah, I think this is a good game here. Rough year for Rhode Island all year long. This team is not very good offensively, Jimmy. Very, very bad. St. Louis needs a win bad, especially for the tournament. I mean, they're on the bubble here. Let's just talk side here. I lean with St. Louis here, laying the short number. It won't be easy going into Rhode Island and winning, but I'd go there. But I like the total here a lot better. I've been on a lot of these Rhode Island unders, and this is a higher number than what they've been having lately. They're usually high 120s at this time, the last few games, low 130s. I thought at 135.5, we were getting a bit of a bargain here. St. Louis can score. They play great defense. Rhode Island, that's all they can do is play defense. They rebound. They don't shoot the ball well. They're 280th scoring in the country. I can go down. Their pace is super slow. And one of the other things, too, 63% from the foul line. Just a bad offense. I don't see this getting over 135.5. I love the under here. And give me the best number you can get me.
Let's get you that. Over the pants butt stuff, by the way, says, I'm good friends with Phil Forte. He says St. Louis rolls tonight. And hearing
I think they win.
I think so. Hearing your breakdown of them still having a shot to get in here, it makes sense that they beat up this Rhode Island team that just played the worst team in the conference. I really like, and this is something that is involved in your fade of Alabama. They come in off beating up on South Carolina. Rhode Island comes in off beating up on Duquesne. And, both teams were at home. They feel good about themselves, beating up on the last place team. I like it. But Nasty Nate on his Rams, or cheering for them at least. But this all makes sense to me. We can get a 136 over at Pinnacle.
Perfect.
And that's high. Wow.
I'll take it.
That's the highest that there is here. Under 136 for I'll
take that. I don't see Rhode Island getting, for them to break 70 is a real big deal. And I think St. Louis, at times they've had higher scoring games, but this team's pretty good defensively. I think they get to the 70 mark, but Rhode Island doesn't. This could be a struggle. And they're at home, so they want the pace. We're going to talk about this in another game coming up. how I like an under. It's all about this team being at home, and I'll break it down for you. But that's the same thing with Rhode Island here. This was on the road at St. Louis, maybe a little different. I might not jump all over this under, but I like it here.
We are in business. We have CMAC with his second spot on the board. Now, we have 6 games here listed, and some of them are leans here. We want to talk about them all, but no need to make each spot official. All right, we move over to the Big 12, and this is another beauty here. I'm looking forward to this one. Let me just move over to the market. Come on here. This is 7 p.m. Eastern. Oklahoma State Cowboys. Here we go. 13-15, 6-10 in conference at Iowa State Cyclones, 20-9, 7-9 in conference. James H. Hilton Coliseum in Ames, Iowa. We have Oklahoma State opening up as 3.5-point dogs. That's moved to 4 or 4.5. This total opened up at 130, and it's dropping fast. We have some books hanging 127.5. Other books hanging 120. Oh, that 127.5 is gone. So that just bounced back up. Okay, so we have 128.5s and 129s available right now. Oklahoma State comes in off 3 straight overtime games, winning the first one, losing the last 2. The latest was a really tight 66-62 loss to Oklahoma on Saturday. Iowa State comes in off their 4th straight win, 74-73 at Kansas State as on Saturday as 2.5-point dogs. Take it away here, CMAC. Oklahoma State, Iowa State.
Yeah, let's touch on that total. I loved it. I knew it was going to get hammered down. Both these teams, Oklahoma State early on in the year couldn't defend anybody. This first matchup, Iowa State won 84-81. So everyone, I think, sees this second one, especially how Iowa State's defense, unreal, Jim. That's why I want to get to it. It's tough now. I can't give out that number. I'd still lean to this under. What was the game last night, the Oklahoma game? I think it just crept over. It was like 76-60 or whatever it was. I had Iowa State the under on the weekend. Let's roll through it. This defense is really, really good. And now they've won 4 straight. Top 20 defense across the board. They create 17 turnovers a game, 8 steals a game. I just love this Cyclones team. Obviously, they were horrible last year. One of the worst teams in the country. They start out 12-0, hit a rough spot, and then start playing really, really good basketball. Oklahoma State has nothing to play for. I'm going to fade them here. I don't love it's now 4 everywhere. But I'm going to lay it with Iowa State here. This is kind of the end. I thought Oklahoma State's last stand was the Bedlam game on Saturday, and they didn't cover that. They lost by 4 in OT, like you talked about. And that game was in the 50s. That didn't get over after OT. So anyone still, I kind of endorse this under. I just got a different number. So, but I'd still lean that way. I'm going to lay it, which I don't always love doing. But Iowa State's defense is that good. I think Oklahoma State just runs out of gas here, and this is it. They're not going to the tournament. So, yeah, I'm going to lay it with Iowa State.
We get you that 4. It's gone to 4.5 at Pinnacle, but we get you that 4 at -107 over at Circa. -4, -107 for CMAC on the Iowa State Cyclones. All right, let's keep rolling. Next up, we have George Mason Patriots, 14-13, 7-7 in the A-10 at Davidson Wildcats, 24-4, 14-2 in conference. We're at John M. Belk Arena in Davidson, North Carolina. We have right now at Pinnacle, George Mason, 7-point dogs. It's juiced to Davidson as 7-point favorites. That's at -110, Mason at -106. And this total is at 135, but that's heavily juiced to the over, -120 to the over. So we will line shop if need be, depending on where CMAC is going with this. George Mason snapped their 2-game losing streak on Sunday with a 69-62 win at home over George Washington's 11-point favorites. Davidson comes in off their 4th straight win, 66-45 beatdown of Fordham at home on Saturday. Take it away here, CMAC, George Mason, Davidson.
This was my lean here, Jimmy. I'm going to wait on this game a little bit. The total's actually come down a point, just about. It opened like 137.5. It's down to 136.5. Tough thing here is Davidson's so efficient scoring. Pace isn't very good, but they're so good. I think they get in the mid-70s. I lean to this over, and I also lean to laying it with Davidson. I'm going to dig into this more, and I will talk about it on the show later today. Last night, as I wrote to you, this was just a lean for me here.
Yeah, just a lean on this spot. So catch our guy C-Mac 5 p.m. Eastern alongside Conor or alongside Maxwell Smart breaking down the NCAA basketball card. That George Mason Davidson in the A10. All right, let's move on. 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We head over to the Big East. UConn Huskies 21-7, 12-5 in conference at Creighton Blue Jays. This one's a beauty. 19-9, 11-6 in conference. We have UConn opening up as 4-point favorites. A couple books have added a hook to make it 4.5. This total opening up at 134.5. It can be found at 135 or 135.5. We are in Omaha for this one. UConn is rolling. They come off their 5th straight win on Sunday, winning at Georgetown 86-77. And Creighton had their 6-game winning streak snapped in a disastrous performance at Providence on Saturday, losing 72-51. An angry group, and our home dogs here. Take it away, C-Mac.
An angry group. Let's see what they can do. The Nembhard injury, I think, is huge here. He's basically their point guard. Their backup point guard, Mitchell's out as well. He's gone for the year. He only averaged 4 points a game or 3.5, but their ball handling is hurting here. This is what's kept me a little on the fence. UConn's healthy. They're rolling. UConn's won 5 straight. They haven't covered any of these numbers. The last 7, they're 1-6. So UConn getting wins, not covering games. And that's what matters in this business. So unless you're just money line betting all the time on these basketball games, which I doubt it. So UConn on the road laying these points. I have a heavy lean here to Creighton. It hasn't moved too much, which was good to see. I almost thought it'd stay because of the Nembhard injury. He's just such a big part of this team for Creighton. Klackenbrenner and some of these other guys, Hawkins, they need to step up and have big games for Creighton at home. That bad loss on the road that you just talked about, 20-point loss. They just got their ass whooped. At times they play defense. Really with good defense, Creighton does. And sometimes UConn. So their first matchup, 59-55. For some reason, I think there's more scoring here in the second one. But right now, I lean to the points. It's the ultimate. Creighton's on the bubble here. Jimmy, they need this game desperately. One thing they do have, Creighton, is size. They got big guys, so the guard handling with Nembhard out hurts. But they're a great team in the paint. I think they're top 10 defensive efficiency inside. I got a bunch of stats on those. They're really good. Creighton is inside. So that'll help out against UConn. UConn struggles to make free throws. Talk about our guy Maxwell Smart can attend to this. It's tough for UConn to put games away, and now they're laying almost 5 points on the road. I think Creighton's the play here with the points. I know Nembhard's out. It's kind of like hold your nose a little bit with him gone, but I could only look that way here.
And it's going to stay a lean at this point?
I'm really moving to it. If I do it, I'll put it on the show. If I play it, do you want me to tell you about it later?
Okay. Yeah. For sure.
I don't think it moves either. I think we stay right at 4-4. I get to 4.5.
Yeah, the 4.5 right now at Pinnacle is at -116. So that is the Big East action. We got one more spot on the board for CMAC. That 9 p.m. Eastern, Miami Hurricanes 20-9, 12-6 in conference at Boston College. Eagles 11-17, 6-12 in conference. Silvio O. Conte Forum in Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts. By the way, Matty Ice has Creighton plus 4.5 on his card. Matty Ice has Creighton plus 4.5 on his card. That may push CMAC over the edge to move on it. All right, let's see what we are dealing with this 9 p.m. spot. Miami, Boston College. Let's get it up here. Miami opening up as 4.5-point road favorites. They're still 4.5 at one book. Most have moved to 4. Total opened up at 141.5, and it has dropped to 139.5 or 139. Mike M says Miami is so good on the road, like this price, hammering first half and full game Miami. And then we had somebody else come in with, Sterling Gentry is on the U first half, -1.5. I thought it was C-Mac T-Mac who was also moving on it. I'll find it in a. Oh yeah,
I like Miami here. Yeah.
T-Mac saying loving Miami first half, full game a little less. Miami comes in off their second loss in 3 games, 71-70 at home to Virginia Tech on Saturday. Boston College had their modest 2-game winning streak snapped in a 70-60 loss at home to Clemson on Saturday. Take it away, C-Mac, your last game on the card here, Miami, Boston College.
I got to stick with this because I think it's still too high. I think I'm going to make a bet on Miami too here, Jimmy. I just don't know if I want to go first half or full game with it. They've been great on the road, and I think this short number, they can get it done. But I love this total. Give me the best. Can you get a 140 out there? Or is there only 139.5?
I can get you a 140.5.
There we go. Okay, perfect. I got 141.5 last night when it opened. I thought this was crazy, this being this high in this game. Miami can score more. They went over 1 point against their game against Tech on Saturday, 71-70. But one thing is Boston College at home, different team than on the road. This team is so slow, so bad offensively. Jimmy, 308 field goal efficiency. They're 295 overall, their offense. One thing they do, they hold the ball until the shot clock ends. You know, they're just one of those teams. Pass it around, wait for Langford to do something. They're not very good. Miami with McGusty, Wong, all those guys, I see a similar win, like, you know, a Clemson, a 70-60 type win. Look at these games I was going through at home, Jimmy. 69-61 to NC State. Pretty fast-paced team. Syracuse 76-56. Duke 72-61. UNC, North Carolina 58-47. Boston College does not want to run. Their offense is not very good. So they have to have this game real slow at their pace at home. So I don't think Miami gets maybe to the 70, just past there. And I don't see them getting anywhere. I love this under. I don't know how anywhere I can spell it out. Give me the under here, baby.
Now it's I guess I looked a little deeper. It is quite juiced. The under 140.5 minus 119. The under 140 minus 113.
There's no other place even lower than that.
Let me check here. Let's see what Circa is doing here for us. Circa, I got a little too excited when I saw Circa is under 140s at minus 109.
Boom. Yeah. I'll take it.
All right. We are going to move on the under 140 at minus 109 and Dutch Boy Fresh coming up next in NBA. Let's review action here. We have C-Mac in the house. Again, he will be on our NCAA Net Profit Show at 5 p.m. Eastern. He's on Texas A&M plus 10.5 at minus 108. He's on the St. Louis Billikens, Rhode Island Rams under 136 at minus 111. He's on Iowa State minus 4 at minus 107. George Mason Davidson is a lean at this point. He's going to be discussing that game in more depth on his 5 o'clock show. UConn Huskies at Creighton Blue Jays, close to moving on Creighton. We have Matty Ice, who's moved on Creighton, waiting to see if C-Mac jumps on it too. And the under 140 at minus 109 in Miami Hurricanes, 20-9, 12-6 in the ACC. The under 140 at minus 109 and leaning towards Miami to cover as well. Is that fair for me to say that you're leaning towards Miami just for my own?
Yeah. That could be a play. If I do it, I'll let you know on that as well. If you want me to, I'll just send it over to you.
Beautiful. Thank you, C-Mac. T-Mac says, I think you'll see Miami finish by 4 to 6 points. 4 to 6 points.
That's getting tight.
Yeah. And Sammy says NCAA card looking juicy. Thank you so much for rolling with us, C-Mac. Follow our man Conor at Conor Mac Picks on Twitter. And thank you so much for sharing your hard work and insight with us. Much love to you, my friend. Any last words for the Cat Boys supporting the show?
No, just shout out to everyone in the chat. Thanks for always giving me the love in the chat. I appreciate it. Yeah, join me later at 5 Eastern. We will go through all these games. We got tournament games. Super exciting. Not a whole lot of sleep for me going forward here, Jimmy. But I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And thanks for having me on. It's always a great time. And I need a better day than last time I was here. That was not good. By the way, all those teams covered on Saturday, too. I went right back to the well with them. So
well,
that hurt. That hurt, though. I had such a great week.
the day before
Yeah.
you swept the board, and then it ebbs and flows.
And I swept the board on net profit on Thursday, Friday. So everything was good except Thursday morning. So we're going to do better. We'll kill it here.
We believe in you, Conor Mag, my man. Have a great day, and much love to you and the fam.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Much love. All right, that is college basketball. We go from NCAA basketball over to NBA basketball, and we have just the man for the job, and he's really coming in and helping here because we have Durrell out with COVID, and I need Dutchie. So he's coming through for us Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. You can catch the freshest capper in the sports forecasting business here on Betting with the Bag. And man, has he ever been good. We talked a little bit about it off the top of the show, but Dutch is 34-23, hitting at 59.6% plus 9.43 units. His ROI is plus 16.54%, average line minus 105. Jonathan Thomas says, yeah, man. Michael Irvelina says, time to light this blunt. And Dutchie on Thursday goes 3-2 plus 0.85 units, and he's been so good on the show that just kept him where he's at. His ROI went up 0.04% with a 3-2 day plus 0.85 units. Please welcome to the show, direct from Las Vegas, Nevada, Dutch Boy Fresh. Dutchie, what's good?
Jimmy the motherfucking Bag. Salute my guy to you. All the real ones holding it down in the chat. You already know, Jimmy. It's West Coast Wednesday, and the NBA is a hell of a drug. And you looking at the plug. Yeah, man. Hey, it's been a beautiful day since the break, bro. 10-3 since the break. Freshest look 4-0 for show purposes. Yeah, man. Be sure to tune in not only here daily, but to the motherfucking NBA Pub Hub daily. We're giving out bangers.
Yeah, man. The show's popping off. It's blowing up. I've been watching the numbers go up, and you guys earned it and deserve it. Piker says, Dutch with the Elvis hair, he says, keep this man away from our women. That's what Piker says about Fred. All right.
I stay in my lane, bro. I stay in my lane.
You're welcome to mine. Let's move on to 7 p.m. Eastern and get this NBA card started. We start with the Charlotte Hornets, 30-33, 15-18 on the road at the Cleveland Cavaliers, 36-25, 19-10 at home. We're at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio. Charlotte 1-4 over their past 5, 18th in pace at 99.97 possessions a game, while Cleveland 1-4 over their past 5, 28th in pace at 95.10 possessions a game. Let's head over to Pinnacle and take a look at this because we were told by Dan Kelly, and we'll go over Dan Kelly's action on this show as well, that money coming in on the Cavs, and is it ever? Wow. And he says, must mean that Garland, or you would think that means Garland is in. Right now, the Cavs -4 at -103. This total sitting at 219.5 juice to the under at Pinnacle. And we have 5,396 tickets in, 68% of the tickets on the Cavs, and 93% of the cash. Tons of Cavs money coming in. 59% of tickets on the over, 63% of cash on the over. Hornets coming off their second straight loss, 130-106 in Milwaukee on Tuesday. They've been struggling. They've lost 11 of 13. They do not look good. They're still able to score, but no defense. Cavs coming off their fourth late loss in 5 games, 127-122 home to Minnesota on Monday. So Garland been dealing with his bone bruise in his lower back. He's day-to-day, and the market is telling us that he's going to be back. Levert with the sprained foot. Rajon Rondo with the sprained big toe. Those two are unavailable. Brandon Goodwin, 17 points, 12 assists, with just 1 turnover last out. And Cedi Osman, 21 points, 5 assists. But the Cavs had 20 turnovers, and it wasn't due to Goodwin. Take it away here, Dutch. First game on the board, Charlotte, Cleveland. Oh, you're on mute, my man.
My fault.
Okay.
Yeah, this I've been breathing hard, so I want to make sure y'all don't hear that. But yeah, this game, Jim, I like it, man. You spoke a lot to what I was liking too, and I capped this game last night, believing that Garland would play. And the way I look at this is the Cavs have to win this game. And honestly, it's more of a fade of the Hornets, but I believe this is a nice setup here, right here for the Cavaliers tonight. And I do believe Garland will be in the lineup. 4 of the next 5 games are versus pretty much elite competition in this league. We got the Sixers, Raptors, Heat, and Bulls on deck for the Cavaliers. So they've struggled of late. They're getting back healthy. Statistically, the trends don't really nothing really looks too much in the Cavaliers' favor. I just simply believe they're too big, and they'll out-rebound these boys. And Garland coming back is obviously a big plus. They do have Markin back. Also, Love's playing out of his mind of late as well, giving him good, solid minutes off the bench. Osman had a good game off the bench as well. So I believe they'll just simply outplay the Hornets at 48 minutes. Now, these two teams did play, Jim, February 4th. The Cavs won outright in Charlotte as a 7-point dog with no Garland, and it was simply because of Jared Allen. Motherfucker had 29 and 22. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something to that aspect tonight as well. He does what he wants, goes hard against them, and these guys being in the Hornets, they have a hard time keeping bigs off the board. Someone who has a motor like Allen, obviously you can see in the numbers, it'll show up. But like I mentioned, this is more of a fate of the Hornets. They're 1-8 ATS last 10 against the number on 1 day's rest. 1-6-2 ATS last 9 versus a winning team, and 2-4 ATS last 6 versus the Cavaliers overall. So I simply believe Garland will be back in the lineup. The Cavaliers have to win this game, and we're getting a Hornets team that plays one-on-one basketball, kind of get yours, don't rebound. So I believe it's a beautiful matchup here for the Cavaliers tonight, Jim. I got it in at 3, but whatever we have available now, we'll make official.
There is a 3.5 at -115. Would you rather cut down the VIG, or is that okay?
What's the 4 looking at?
The 4 -110 over there, and here it is. Wow, is it really being pulled off the board? I find that hard to believe. Oh no, there it is. -4 is at -103. So what could we get you the 3? I bet you we get a nice 3.5 here. Let me just see the. Yeah, I can get you -3.5 and -112.
Yeah, let's just drop that. Let's drop the 4.
Drop the 4.
I'm not worried about this. I think Garland's gonna come back. You bring Godwin to the bench. I think the Cavaliers run away with this game. I wouldn't be surprised if the Hornets come out early a little bit after getting that ass whooped by Milwaukee, which was expected. But due time, the Hornets will find a way to lose this game, and I don't think the 4 points will be an issue.
Dan Kelly says, reported yesterday, Darius Garland went through workouts with some of the other guards following today's practice. He defended, took some contact, drove to the basket, took some off the dribble jumpers, and we have Dutch -4, -103. That's available right now at Pinnacle. Let's keep rolling. Next up, we have 7 p.m. action. Indiana Pacers 21-42, 6-24 on the road at Orlando Magic, 15-47, 7-21 at home. We're at Amway Center in Orlando, Florida. We have the Pacers opening up as 3-point dogs. They're now 1.5-point favorites. A 2 at Bet Rivers and Sugar House. Big swing over to the Indiana Pacers. They opened up at +110. They're now -127 at Bet Rivers. This total opened up at 232.5. That's where you can find it right now at 232.5. When we go over to the cash flow, we have 5,422 tickets in. 79% of the tickets, 85% of the cash on the Pacers. And then 52% of tickets, 81% of cash on the under. These teams met on Monday in a 119-103 Magic win in Orlando, and now they're back at it. Wendell Carter Jr. went for 21 and 12, and 5th straight double for Wendell Carter Jr. And 8 players scored in double digits. That ties a franchise record. There was even a Markelle Fultz sighting. He went for 10 points in his first game in 14 months. On the other side, Tyrese Halliburton went for 23 points and 7 assists, but he did have 6 turnovers. Brogdon sat out the second night of a back-to-back as he works his way back from this Achilles injury. Stevenson missed his second straight game due to left ankle sprain. Chris Duarte has a sore left big toe, which he left in the third quarter. So he's day-to-day there. But Brogdon expected to be back, and big market move towards the Pacers. Take it away here, Dutch. Pacers Magic.
Yeah, man. Hey, big shout out to North Ender. I see you, my dude. Rodney Barton, I see you. But Stu Chaos said it best, man. He knows where I'm going with this, Jimmy. It's a backwood, bro. And these two teams just did pay recently. So, go off of that, cap that game if you really want something in this game. But, yeah, I'm not touching this motherfucker.
I get it. There's lots of spots on the board to attack here. And The idea being that with Brogdon back, an angry Pacers team that was just embarrassed by the Magic. Now the Magic are going for 3 straight wins, something they've very rarely done. And THC's Rizzo says Brogdon playing Duarte likely goes lean Pacers first half, and Astute Chaos screaming backwood at the top of his lungs.
Yeah, I can't bet the Magic. I can't bet them. So, I haven't bet the Magic all year. I wouldn't start now. So I'd only look Indiana, but there's no way my money's going to be on this game, Jim.
We have Astute Chaos on that first half over 112.5 in the Charlotte-Cleveland game. And we have Dan Kelly on Charlotte, team total over 55. Dan Kelly is moving on this spot. He's in the first half, Indiana, team total over 59.5. That's from Dan Kelly. And shout out to Dan Kelly. Also has a move on the Sixers game and says this New York-Philadelphia situation has not happened at least the past 7 years. Both teams playing on 2 days rest and played each other in their last. That's coming from the database king, Dan Kelly. Shout out to Dan. I apologize for the Wendell Clark
That's
thing.
the first time I've seen that.
Oh, yeah? It's dope, right?
Yeah, it's dope.
I apologize for calling Wendell Carter Wendell Clark. Real Deal Prime said he did play for Wendell Clark at the Leafs alumni. Wow. They're in Newfoundland. That's incredible. I've had a few beers with Wendell Clark. There used to be a Yuck Yucks connected to the Wendell Clark restaurant. And I hate to digress, but I did get him laughing really hard with this one joke. Because Howie Meeker used to do the play-by-play, and he had this really high voice, and he was talking about, the Queen saw an exhibition game in Vancouver, and he was like, Wayne Gretzky will be inside the Queen's box tonight. And that got a big laugh out of Wendell Clark. Okay, let's get back to work here. 7:30 p.m. Eastern, New York Knicks 25-36, 12-17 on the road at Philadelphia 76ers 37-23, 16-13 at home. We're at Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The Knicks are 0-5 over their past 5. They look like the old Knicks, man. They look terrible. 15th in pace at 100.31 possessions a game. Philadelphia 4-1, 21st in pace at 99.10 possessions a game. Let's see what we are dealing with this spot. Interesting. Isn't that so cool? So we haven't seen a situation like this in the last 7 years. 2 days rest playing against the same opponent. The Knicks opened up as 10.5-point dogs. This total opened up at 223.5 and is now at 222.5. There was their 5th straight loss for the Knicks on Sunday against these Sixers, 125-109. James Harden making his home debut tonight for the Philly faithful. He went for 29 points, 16 assists, 10 boards, and 5 steals. He looks rejuvenated. Embiid loved being on the floor with him, 37 points, 9 boards, 4 block shots. Derrick Rose looks like he's close to returning, but we don't know if that will happen tonight. At this point, probably unexpected. And Nerlens Noel, a foot injury. Uncle Oliver says first half over. Astute Chaos says lean first half over. What do you think of this spot? And while you are breaking it down, what do you think of the combination of Embiid and Harden?
I mean, I said it before. I mean, hey, it's going to be a beautiful thing. It usually is. If you remember James Harden when he went to Brooklyn right off the bat, he was, I believe, knowledgeable motherfuckers were saying that James Harden was the best player on that team at the time. The way he was playing, I mean, this is what he does. And he gets comfortable, and then you see the real, true James Harden. At this time, take advantage of it. I mean, obviously the books are catching on, 10.5, 11-point favors. But yeah, they're nice right now. They're nice. James cares about basketball at this time. How long that'll last, I'm not gonna bet on it. And it won't last. I will bet on that though. It will not fucking last. Probably when it matters in the playoffs, you could fade Philly. But yeah, they're gonna look real good here for a little while. I said this on the show prior. They will look good. James Harden's that guy. He's like a new girl. You have fun. You just loving life with it, and then you start to see how she really is. She wake up and the makeup's off and the breasts start to stink, and the bitch ain't got no money in her account. And you see the credit, and it's like, oh shit, she ain't as bad as you thought she was. That's James fucking Harden. So just give it a little bit of time. But right now, I look for it to probably be a little spitting image of what we seen 2 days ago. Fuck around. And then in the fourth quarter, they put it on him because James going to get what he wants. He's going to show out for the Philly crowd. And it's laughable kind of to me, too, how many people are on, like, how good this is going to work out, But like I said, it will work out for a short-term time. James Harden, they have a solid cast around them. And Embiid, these guys, it is a lethal duo when it all comes together. But there's no way I'm betting the motherfucking Knickerbockers here. I wouldn't be surprised if they kept it close early, but the Sixers will pull away. And if you like James Harden, you want to bet some money, points, rebounds, and assists. I'm not mad at anything with him. Embiid had so many free throws, I believe, last time. I don't know. Yeah, I would look for him maybe to actually maybe get a little bit, maybe not as many calls tonight, maybe kind of even that out a little bit. But they don't have nothing for Embiid. If he's on that block, nobody in the league could really stop him. But yeah, I expect James to show out, and it's gonna be nice and sweet for probably the next 3-4 weeks.
42.5 points, assists, and rebounds. The only fear here would be that they're up by 25 points and he doesn't come out in the fourth quarter. That would be the only, because I agree with you. It just seems like an opportunity for him to show out, By the way, the taint play of the day is in. We'll go over it once we do a review of the show, but the taint play of the day is in. UNLV money line at -120. All right, let's keep rolling. We have next up, we got Dutch Boy Fresh. Those of you joining us right now, Dutch will be on the show Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Dutch, baby. We have 8 p.m. Eastern action. Utah Jazz 38-22, 16-12 on the road at Houston Rockets, 15-46, 8-20 at home at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. Utah 4-1, 29th in pace at 94.7 possessions a game. Houston has 9 more possessions a game than Utah. That's a lot. They're 0-5 over their past 5, 5th in pace at 103.30 possessions a game. We have, oh man, I must have missed the Sacramento game, and I apologize there. I will get that up. I don't know how I missed that, but right now, Jazz Rockets. Jose, I did not send you that game, so could you? Sorry, let me just move over here. Get that ready to go if you can. The Sacramento game. Did I not?
And you don't let the best game on the card off the card.
I blew past the Heat game too. What the hell's wrong with me? I'm barely sleeping.
Yeah, damn.
I'm barely
I was like, I got another backwood. Fuck.
I'm barely sleeping. So, Jose, you need to get both those games up and at them. The Knicks, Heat Bucks and Kings Pelicans. We'll go Heat Bucks after this one, but let's do Jazz Rockets right now. And I apologize just because I've already introduced it. Jazz coming off their second straight win, 118-114 at the Suns on Sunday. Rudy Gobert, 37th double-double. Let me just get this over here quickly because now I got Jose working very let's get this up here. Where is it? There we go. Okay. Rockets. Oh, so Gobert. So we just saw what Zubac did to the Rockets. I mean, he dominated the game. And it's strange that we haven't seen fives completely dominate the Rockets like that this year and just, make those unders so easy to cash because they're set so high with the Rockets playing at such a fast pace. Gobert, 37 double-double on the season, last out 16-14. Donovan Mitchell, 26-5 in that 118-114 win at the Suns on Sunday. Rockets on the second half of a back-to-back, they did not look good last night, and they could do nothing in the paint, 22-49. So what are they going to do in the paint here against Rudy Gobert? This one pops off at 8 p.m. Jazz open up as 13-point favorites. They're now 14-point favorites, and this total is dropping down to 229.5 from a 232 opener. Take it away, Dutch.
Yeah, man. I got 3 looks today, Jim, but I've been dummying it down a lot, to be honest with you, and I've been liking the results. So I'm not going to force anything, and I'm sure as hell not going to force anything in fucking Houston. But if you could look anywhere here, probably be the team total over with the Utah Jazz. I know that's a look I believe our Nut Flesh Allen likes a lot. Yeah, man, I can't fuck with Houston. They don't stop nobody. They don't got a point guard. Utah's been playing pretty good basketball of late. They should go in there and handle business, but I would look for them to probably thump them. I like D. Mitch too, but I'm not going to go anywhere here on that. So, yeah, it's Utah or nothing for me, Jim.
Utah or nothing. There's 6,229 tickets on this game. 72% of the tickets on the Jazz, 81% of the cash. And it's 50-50 on the total. 50-50 with the tickets and then 53% of the cash on the over. So, very, very interesting. Eric Jones saying Utah blowout. Spenny Pennybomb saying Miami plus 4.5 and Sacramento, New Orleans over 233. So those are the 2 spots for our guy, Spenny Pennybombs. Let me lock that in here. Okay. I don't know how I blew past this. All right. Let's move on to the Heat spot next. If you could set up our Heat spot next for us, Jose. Miami Heat 41-21, 20-14 on the road at Milwaukee Bucks 37-25, 27-12 at home where Pfizer form in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Miami 4-1 over their past 5, 27th in pace at 96.96 possessions a game, while Milwaukee 2-3, third in pace at 103.80 possessions a game. And here we go. Ron Crawford has Miami spreadsheet play today on the spreadsheet play today on the Heat, and Sammy Comer saying Heat outright win. Heat outright win here in Pfizer form. Heat come off their fourth straight win, 112-99 at home over the Bulls on Monday. Bucks snapped their 2-game losing streak with a 130-106 win at home over the Hornets on Monday night. 8,347 tickets in, 54% of the tickets, 71% of the cash on the Heat. And then we have 73% of tickets, 67% of cash on the over. Take it away here, Dutch. The Heat open at 5. They're now at 4.5. This total is sitting at 224.5. Heat, Bucks.
Yeah, man. I like hearing Ron Crawford come in with the spreadsheet play of the day. Big shout out to our guy Razor Sharp Picks. Yeah, man, I'm all over the Heat here. And Sam, I like the money line look here too. I believe that the Heat can win the game. The one thing that holds me back a little bit here is obviously they have Brooklyn on deck tomorrow. Wouldn't be such a big deal, but I believe KD might be coming back as well. So, it's going to be a little rough. But, I mean, they don't like these boys. They don't like Milwaukee. I think Miami will come in here and look to beat them. And the thing here to me is Milwaukee hasn't been a good basketball team, Jim, of late. They didn't beat a winning basketball team in the month of February. They haven't won against a team with a 500 record or better since January 1st was their last win. And that was against the Bulls, and they won by four points in that game. I just don't like what I see all around from Milwaukee basketball. I don't believe they bought in yet to this season. They might still be on celebration mode. They have the talent. But they just kind of coast, They did put it on the Hornets the other night, but that was kind of just the perfect situation. Pretty easy read there the other night there with Milwaukee. I don't give them much credit for that. They don't have too much really going off the bench. I know they got Ibaka in there, but I just don't really like what Middleton seems to be kind of subpar, hasn't really got to where he was in the playoffs. And it is kind of, like I said, lackadaisical. Now, they could show up tonight, but they do have Chicago on deck as well, which is pretty much a team that they definitely want to show up for against that being so close there in Milwaukee. But I like Miami here. I think you gotta pretty much fade the Bucks against a good team. And if this was a pick 'em, I'd probably look Miami here. You're going to give me 4.5. I think it simply has to be made just off a value play alone. Also, a couple trends. Miami, they are fully healthy now. They're 5-0 ATS last 6 on the road, 6-0 straight up last 6 road games. Now this year they played the Bucks 3 times. They've won 2 out of the 3, covered 2 out of the 3, average win 10 points per game. And Jimmy Butler only played in one of them games. Now obviously they've been in and out of the lineup quite a bit here with Miami. But like I mentioned, they're fully healthy now. Only guy out is Lowry. We've got Gabe Vincent coming in there, filling it in, Struss off the bench. And obviously Jimmy Buckets is going to run the show. But the Bucks have been somewhat of a fade, especially at home. 2-4 ATS last 6 against the number, 1-5 overall against the number last 6, 3-9 against the number last 12 in conference, Jim. Like I said, I believe Miami's live to win the game here, but the 4.5 I believe is real good money. And the only little, you could say little hiccup would be obviously they have Brooklyn on deck tomorrow, or else this would probably be an even bigger play for me.
There you have it. Heat plus 4.5 at -109. That's available right now. That's the best that I could find here. A bunch of books have moved it to 4 at this point. Spenny Pennybomb says Butler double plus 220. Think much more competitive game where Jimmy should be all over the floor tonight. All over the floor. And Lowry is out. At this point. Kyle Lowry out. All right, let's roll on to the next spot. And I apologize for missing it. Sacramento Kings 23-48 and 22 on the road at New Orleans Pelicans 25-36, 13-17 at home. We're at the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans, Louisiana. Sacramento 1-4 over their past 5, third in pace at 103.8 possessions game, while the Pelicans 3-2 have slowed it down a bit, 23rd in pace, 98 possessions a game. We have the Kings opening up as 4.5 point dogs. That's moved to 6 or even 6.5 There's a 6.5 being hung at BetMGM. This total opened up at 235.5, and it is dropping. We see a 233 and a 233.5. We have 7,906 tickets in. It's very strange that it's moving so quickly because 24% of the tickets are on the Kings, but 48% of the cash. Interesting. And then the total has 72% of tickets on the under, but just 54% of cash on the under. So some big bets have come in on the over. The Sacramento snapped their 4-game losing streak, an easy 131-110 win at Oklahoma on Monday night. And the Pelicans, coming off their second straight win, they smashed both teams coming off 20-plus point wins. The Pelicans smashed the Lakers 123-95 on Sunday. Take it away here, Dutch. Kings, Pelicans.
Yeah, man. I've been watching these Pelicanos, and I can't lie. I'm becoming a fan. They keep putting money in my account. I'm becoming even more bigger of a fan. This CJ McCollum trade was a beautiful thing for them, fitting in fucking perfectly. Actually running a little bit of the point. My one knock on them is they don't have a point, but McCollum's playing a little bit of solid minutes at that point, and then obviously they got BI running the show as well. But this team is big, lengthy, and plays hard, man. This kid, Jackson Hayes, is a fucking basketball player. I really like this kid. Watch out. They might fuck around and move Zion and get some nice shit for him and put Jackson in that lineup because this kid wants to play, can jump, and obviously is focused on his fucking diet. He runs up and down the court. I like everything I see about him. They got Big Val down low. Going to be a nightmare matchup for Sabonis. We talked about this last week, Jim. That front line was starting Sabonis and Harrison Barnes. Now they actually added in Lyles. Still, to me, that's barbecue chicken for Big Val down there and Jackson Hayes. They'll do what they want, out-rebound them, outwork them. Big Val will not have to worry about Sabonis on the three-point line. He's more inside, 15-footer in, so he doesn't have to worry about going out to the three. I think this is just a beautiful thing here for the Pelicanos. I'm really liking what I've seen from them. I like Devontae Graham off the bench. The role he has kind of has the green light, the six-man come in and just get and catch fire. I like what I see. Fuck around and letting Tony Snell get some good minutes out there and playing some solid basketball as well. Getting enough production off the bench, I think, to be a competitive team. But it really comes down to, man, you got CJ McCollum knocking down shots, playing out of his mind, not mad at anything with his name on it. You got BI, this kid, the rookie Jones they got could fucking guard anybody on the court. Athletic as fuck. I like this Pelicanos team, and to me, they're just a better team than the Sacramento Kings. I believe they'll outwork them, they'll out-rebound them, and this game should be double digits by the fourth quarter. The Pelicanos are 0-2 this year against the Sacramento Kings, so we know it's hard to beat a team 3 times, and especially when the team is a better fucking basketball team than they were the last 2 previous meetings. They're 5-1 and 1 ATS last 7 as a home favorite. The Pelicanos, they're 8-4 last 12 against the number. So maybe that's why I'm talking so highly of them, because these motherfuckers are covering, and I like what I see at them, just simply the eye test as well. And on the other side, I don't like what I see out of Sacramento. Yeah, they handled business the other night, but they're 1-4 straight up last 5. Their 4 losses are averaged by 8 points or more, right where we needed to be. They're 2-16 straight up last 18 on the road. This is a team that you can fade on the road. The number 5.5, 6, 6.5, it don't scare me. I locked it in at 5.5. Whatever we can get for the best number makes it official here, Jim. But the Pelicanos will outwork them. They'll bully him. McCollum will do his thing. This game will be 15 points minimum.
Wow. Okay, great breakdown. I loved it. So -6 is available at -104, real low vig. I was going to offer you the 5.5, but
lock it in.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, lock that 6 in.
All right. I love the breakdown from the Pelicans -6.
We're playing good ball right now.
4. The week we're in San Antonio, my close buddy Sonny Dollywall, one of my best friends in the world, his girlfriend always wanted to sit courtside. It was always her dream. So he got courtside. They're on the floor, but they're third row, whatever. But they're on the floor as $1,250 each, so $2,500. And he gave them to her, and then they broke up, and he took the tickets back. And he's going to that game, and then he's going to fly over to San Antonio and meet us on the Monday.
Mind.
Yeah,
I like that. Hey, I might have to buy a homeboy a drink just on that. Just on that one. First plane on me. I like that.
I'll take those. Okay, so there you got it. Pelicans -6 and -104. Let's move to 9 p.m. Eastern is next up. Oklahoma City Thunder 19-42, 10-21 on the road at Denver Nuggets 36-25, 17-10 at home at Ball Arena, Denver, Colorado. OKC 2-3 in their past 5, 6th in pace at 103.30 possessions a game. And then we have Denver 5-0, first in pace at 104.7 possessions a game. They are playing fast. Thunder open up as 13-point dogs. Now they go to 14.5 or 15. And I've had great success with them at this number this year. They seem to do it for me in the right spots. This total opened up at 225. It's now at 225.5 or 226. We have 5,850 tickets in. 49% of the tickets, 62% of the cash on the Nuggets. And then we have 54% of the tickets, 61% of cash on the under. Thunder come in off their third loss in 4 games, 131-110 at home to the Kings on Monday night. Nuggets coming off their 6th straight win. An impressive 124-92 beatdown of the Blazers in Portland on Sunday night. This is a Nugget team that's feeling good about themselves. I wonder, is there a possibility of them being lethargic or not being motivated in this spot? Take it away here, Dutch. Thunder Nuggets.
Yeah, shout out to my guy, Elliot V. I see my dude. And Jared Hayes is young and raw, bro. He's got nothing but upside. But I get you. Every fucking player makes bonehead plays. Yeah, Jim, this game, man, I want to look Denver here because I think Denver's playing the best basketball before the break. And since this is a team that we're going to be able to back, I think more here. But I'm not into laying a motherfucking 2 touchdowns in a hooker in an NBA basketball game. I mean, who knows what could go on in these late minutes, when the Joker and all these guys are probably sitting on the bench. So yeah, this isn't a game for me. I do like the Denver Nuggets. I do believe them getting Murray on their way back, Michael Porter Jr. coming back. Also, it does something to the morale of that team. They've underachieved the whole first half. Mike Malone's a hell of a coach. Kind of been run under the bus a little bit late. I like the Nuggets, but I'm not laying fucking 2 touchdowns.
I get it. I absolutely get it. And the market moving towards the Nuggets. Dan Kelly says the best seats I ever had for an NBA game, 3 rows from the court at MSG for Cavs Knicks mid-80s pre-Ewing, cost $10 from a scalper. The best seats I ever had were still like maybe 10 rows up, 12 rows up. I was actually shooting an unwatchable basketball movie in LA that Nick Cannon starred in called The Underclassmen. Unwatchable. It was Miramax. So we all thought we were going to be famous. This is back in 2003. We all thought we were going to be famous. And Miramax didn't release the movie. After they had it for like 2 years, they didn't release it. Disney ended up releasing it like 2.5, 3 years later. And I remember I brought all my friends to the theater. I never made this mistake again. Brought all my friends to the theater to see the movie when it opened. And there was one other person in the theater. He walked halfway through. And I just got made fun of nonstop. But the reason why I bring it up was because while I was shooting, I picked the hottest girl I knew. I brought her down to LA and we went to the Lakers game and I was Slava Medvedenko's biggest fan. And I'm, not really, but for that game I was, and he didn't leave the bench and I just cheered for him nonstop. And I got Jack Nicholson laughing. He never turned around, but you could see his shoulders going like this. I was just nonstop, just saying the best things I could think of about Slava Medvedenko over and over and over again. And then when he got on the floor with about 45 seconds left, I lost my shit and almost got kicked out. Like basically was told like you have to stop it because I was screaming in such a high pitched voice. All right.
The best seats I had, Jim, real quick though, because it reminds me of was at the Rose Garden with the Blazers and the Brooklyn Nets when they had Kidd, RJ, and Vince. And I'm a big Vince guy. I had courtside seats right next to fucking Vince. He about 6 fucking seats down. And of course, it was when they do that bummy knee. Oh, he had a bum knee all of a sudden. So he's a late scratch. So I'm already salty. Motherfucker walks right by me. I said, hey, what up, Vince? Like something like that. Motherfucker head down the whole time. Don't even acknowledge me. Ever since I've been like, fuck VC, man. Hey, I paid a lot of money for them seats too. But yeah, I hate when them players do that though. Them last second scratches. This happened to me a couple times. But yeah, that was my courtside experience. I said, never again. I said, this close to you motherfuckers.
Well, that Lakers team was Karl Malone, Gary Payton, Shaq and Kobe, 4 Hall of Famers, and they were playing the Pacers. Pacers were the best team in the league. Pacers were 12-2, I believe, and that was the year of the Palace in the Malice. or the malice in the palace. Sorry.
The art
I have
on
not-
test.
I have not been sleeping. I've not been sleeping. Okay, we have one game left here, 10 p.m. Eastern. Portland Trailblazers at Phoenix Suns. I am a little uncomfortable about your next guest, but he begged to come on. For better or for worse, he's a big Jimmy the Bag fan. I can't say that I'm a fan of his broadcasting from an undisclosed location somewhere on the mountainside. Some call him the most hated man in the world, currently attacking a sovereign nation. You don't have to welcome him, but making his Betting with the Bag debut, President of Russia, Vladimir Putin.
Hello, Jimmy! It is I, President Vladimir Putin, joining you from a very sexy riverside location, huh? Do you like my nipples?
No, I would say no. This is a gambling show. I know you've watched before. We're looking for winners. What do you have for us today, Mr.
Jimmy, please say hello to my trusty steed here. His name is Jose. I ride him very hard and often put him away wet, but he likes it, don't you, Jose? Say hello to the bag of Jimmy.
That's great. Nice to meet another Jose.
Listen, Jimmy, fighting patriotic Ukrainians is hard work. So I'm blowing off a little steam with you, huh? I'm focusing on my two favorite things to do. Bombing innocent civilians and picking NBA basketball games against the spread. Yes! Jimmy, I'm a huge fan of your show. I love that man that looks like he lives in the woods and fights bears, Peter the Loshak. And the boy who does all the drugs and the prostitutes, the Dutch. And my favorite is the Omicron variant. They don't wash their hands. Oh my goodness, but he doesn't like your Dul. How you say his name, Dul? He made him very mad, and now that Dul is so sick, all of his food tastes like metal. I love to hear that people are suffering. It makes me so happy. Oh, Jimmy, I love to do funny things. Hey, remember when I invaded Chechnya in the 90s, huh? And then I said they were terrorists, but really it was just me bombing apartment buildings all over Russia. Oh,
okay,
it's a good thing Russians don't have YouTube, right?
This is all well and good, Mr. Putin, but we have a handicapping show. We're picking winners here.
Okay.
We're breaking down the NBA right now. Do you have a pick for us?
Well, listen, I will not mysteriously poison you, even though you're cutting me off and I'm trying to tell you fun stories, but we have plenty of time for that. One question. Do you know how hot nuclear bombs burn when they go off? Huh?
No.
Do you?
No.
They burn as hot as the Phoenix Suns. You like that transition I just made? Nice little segue. Did you like that, bitch? Huh? Oh, yes. Well, listen, the Phoenix Suns are going to take on a Trailblazers team that is as weak as the Chechnyan rebels were when I invaded them and killed all of their wives and children and took their land for no fucking reason. They've been losing games by 30-plus points since the break, and they're without anyone you've ever heard of, including that center Yusef Nurkic, who last I heard was running around with that sexy Ukrainian president. Oh, he's so handsome. Even I'm a big fan of him. Oh, yes. We're going to lay the points, just like the Dul would say, I don't give a fucking shit. What this spread is, Phoenix Suns! Tonight, they're going to dominate. Oh, you make me feel like invading a free country. tree. Oh, the way you turn me on.
Okay,
I can't
there
see.
is
Think it's
Mr.
going.
Putin, president
Don't ever look
of
back.
Russia.
Don't
He
ever
is
look
on
back.
the Phoenix Suns minus the points, a big home favorite. That is his first official pick here on the show. I'm not sure how this is all going to go over. I can't say you will ever see him on the show again.
Oh,
But he
dobre
is,
otre. That means good day. I love
Okay.
you, Jimmy the Big. I'll see you so many more times, or I will kill you mysteriously.
all right. There he is. All right. Putin, I don't know if you knew about Booker going into COVID protocols, but the market has moved very quickly here, Dutch. And he did give you a shout out, by the way. So he is a fan, Dutch. Blazers, Suns open up as 12.5-point favorites. This Booker news has moved it to 10.5. This total opened up at 228.5, and with the Booker news, it's down to 225.5. Let's go over to the cash flow in this spot. 7,477 tickets in. 52% of the tickets, 47% of the cash on the Blazers, and 45% of tickets, 39% of cash on the over. It's too bad that the Warriors are scuffling because our plus 600 look to win the division would be in business now. I mean, who knows how long Booker will be out, and the COVID protocols are easier to get through. Portland comes in off their second straight loss, 124-92 at home versus the Nuggets on Sunday. Suns come in off their second straight loss, 118-104 at home to the Jazz. I was thinking of moving on the Blazers first quarter. We got Putin on the Suns. Dutch, take it away here. Last game on the card, Blazers, Suns.
All right, man. Hey, the funniest thing to me though is Daryl and Omicron went at it, and then Daryl got the motherfucking bit. All right, that's some shit, bro. Hey, but get back, speedy recovery, my guy. Hopefully, see you soon. But yeah, man. This game, I don't even know where to go, bro. I ain't go. I guess I'm going with Putin. Yeah, I'll go with the Suns, but ain't no way I'm going with the Blazers. Get a better number. Remember when Booker goes out and bet the Phoenix Suns here. I mean, Portland's auto fade. I mean, the roster is just ridiculous right now. So I will not be betting this game. I believe one of our guys in the chat said these lines are crazy today. And I mean, this is another one. But there's a reason why they're favored by this much. And I would only look the home team. But yeah, I got 3 plays on the day, Jim, and I'm not going to force anything else, my guy.
I get it. And this game is now off the board at Pinnacle. I guess they're deciding what to open it up at. So it's off the board at Pinnacle. Let's go over to Circa and see. It's at 10.5 right now at Circa. Let's refresh this and see if that's gone down to 10.5 at Circa. So I wonder, do you think? Oh, you know what? I guess with Booker out and now CP3 out and losers of 2 straight, there will be intensity shown by these Suns. Probably.
Yeah, and Campaign's back too. Yeah, he set the tone to it. Say what you will about Campaign, but he goes a hundo, maybe even a little more. So I expect him to come out and go. You know, they've been a little light at that point guard position. I like Campaign more off the bench, but I definitely think he'll, set the tone. And Cam Johnson and these boys with Crowder and Bridges and Ayton's been playing lights the fuck out. I believe they'll work through Ayton. They'll have nothing for him. So if you really want to look at this game and you think it's going to be somewhat close, you could maybe go with DA props as well. And then Simon's on the other side. Probably go at Cam, but yeah, this Phoenix should run away with this with Booker or without Booker or not. I still believe Phoenix is leaps and bounds a better team than what Portland Trailblazers are putting out.
And Mike M says, love this under. Portland, one of the leading under squads in the association. Don't see him getting to 100. Don't see him getting to 100. All right, there is our NBA. Piker says, let's give Putin a 10.5. Then I guess even though, okay, let's not. Okay, we'll give him a 10.5 at minus 107. And
I could dig it though. I could dig it. Shit.
Is in minus 10.5 at minus 107. All right, and Mark Schellenberg says big night for Mike Bridges. Dutch, I know that you made time for us this week, and it means so much to us. So thank you so much for rolling with us. Dutch Boy Fresh, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday this week on the show. He is on the Cavs -4, minus 103, and I have asterisks all around that. I'm going to try and get it as soon as possible. And it's still 4. It's still 4. Okay. Okay. So I love that look there. And then we have Knicks, Philly, no move. Jazz, Rockets, no move. Then Heat plus 4.5 at -109 for Dutch, and the Pelicans -6 at -104. That is Dutch Boy Fresh action. NBA spreadsheet play today is the Miami Heat, and Dan Kelly is on Charlotte. Team total over 55 at -1. First half, team total over 55, -110. First half, Indiana, team total over 59.5. And Philly, team total over 116.5. Astute Chaos on Charlotte. Cleveland, first half over 112.5. And Miami, Milwaukee, first half over 116.5. And catch Dutch Boy Fresh today on NBA Pub Hub, 4 p.m., the best show in the industry. I love the show very, very much. You guys do a hell of a job on it. And you can hang out with Dutch in San Antonio. Now, Dutch, there is talk about you and J Money going up against Prince of the City and Ski Profit. Is there truth behind this? Because we want to get excited about it.
I mean, I know I got a bum knee and Jay got a bum shoulder, so it's funny how they put the two dudes that are, bummy on the same team, but hey, I'll fuck around and beat their ass. I don't mind. Ski, Prince talk a lot too, so yeah, we might have to put on the old knee brace and bust some ass. Might have to take off arm day for the week before I come out, because I hit arms twice a week, so the jumper it's a little straight right now, but we'll get it right.
There's Prince of the City in the chat as we speak. He immediately appears when it's talking.
I got a shoulder for him.
Polly Walnut says, "What's the line, Jimmy?" We're going to have to discuss that. We are going to have a local on court, so there's going to be we're going to keep it quiet. We've been told that the local will likely have protection because they'll have 10 to 20K in his pocket. So we are going to figure it out, and we will possibly make it available for people who aren't on the court. We are going to film it all. So we have some confirmation here. Dutch Boy Fresh and J Money against Prince of the City and Ski Profit.
Yeah, we run it.
Dutch, what's your game like? Who's your NBA comparison? The people want to know.
Man, my game is like mine, bro. Who the fuck, bro? Oh, come on, man.
Oh, shit.
This is my game, bro.
Let me handle that. Let me handle that. Let me just handle that.
Hey, but yeah, yeah, man. Grown man shit right here. Now, I'm fuck with you, Jose. Yeah, you can't ask me no more questions until you pay your motherfucking debt, bro. No, hey, but real talk, I got a challenge for these motherfuckers out here, though. For everybody come, I'm gonna be there 25th through the 28th, and I know there's a lot of smokers around here, Jimmy. Everybody claim to be a big smoker. I'm willing. I've been doing it for a long time, and I'm the true connoisseur. So I don't smoke no tobacco, but we want to smoke some flower. 1K I put up. I mean, you got to put up 1K, and ain't nobody going to outsmoke me. You know what I'm saying? 1,000, 1K, nobody outsmoke me. And if you think you can, put up 1K and we can go. But it is strictly plains, only flower. And if you think you can run it, let's run it. But yeah, I got 1K. No one can outsmoke me. We'll see where we go from there.
Jesus. All right. So more action coming on. Looks like it's going to be more exciting than our ping pong tournament. Looks like it at this point. And also the 2-on-2 will be more exciting than Jose and I doing one lap in ice skates and one lap in figure skates. But all we want to do is gamble. So we have a 2-on-2 set up for Dutch Boy Fresh. That's fun, man. And everybody knows now a K on the line.
Yeah.
A K on the line if you want to.
I mean, we drop it down to 500 if you want, 500 if you want, but 1K. We'll make it happen, whatever. But yeah, I know there's a lot of smokers out here, so we can get it going.
All right. Well, you've got Nasty Nate's interest, and we are going to be gambling on all of this, all of it.
Hey, Nasty Nate's one of the reasons why I said no tobacco too, because I know that motherfucker show up with like 20 backwoods, and I'll be tapping out after 2 rotations. Fuck that. But yeah, as long as it's in the plane, ain't no tapping out.
Oh man. And Sammy B says we need a poker game for some additional gambling. There is a poker. Oh, but you mean in Toronto? We have a poker game in San Antonio. Sammy, come down. We got pro dealers and everything. Calm down. But our Toronto game will be up in Adam. And my friend Tiffany Michelle is going to be playing at our game. She was 17th in the 2008 World Series of Poker. Picked up $330K.
Respect them ladies, bro.
Yeah. No, she's zero jokes, man. She's the real deal. Fantasy Labs just updated Dutch's sore knee. Probable March 5th.
I might take the shot, man. Y'all put pressure. I might take a motherfucking shot. Anything for the bag, bro. Anything for that motherfucking bag.
Dutch, we love you so much. Thank you for rolling with us. And you can catch him on Thursday and Friday here, and also Monday through Friday on NBA Pub Hub. And follow him on Twitter at Dutch Boy Fresh. Dutch, you're killing it. You're being so strong on this show. and it means the world to us. So thank you for sharing your hard work with us. Have a great show at 4 p.m. and much respect, my guy. Any last words for the Capper Sport in the show?
I appreciate you, Jim. Appreciate everyone in the chat, man. Y'all stay fresh.
There he is, Dutch, a boy, fresh. He's not tailing Putin on the Suns. Not tailing, but I'm wondering. Very interesting show here today. Very interesting show. All right, we've reviewed NBA action. Let's review NHL action. We will start with Mr. Gogster. Mr. Gogster in NHL is on St. Louis, New York Rangers, first period, under 1.5 minus 101. I'm on the Rangers money line. Buffalo, first period, plus a half at minus 105. Kings, Stars, first period, under 1.5 minus 103. In Nashville, Seattle, full game, over 5.5 at minus 117. When we get to college basketball, spreadsheet play today in NHL is the Dallas Stars. When we get to college basketball, we have the taint play of the day. The taint play of the day is in. Shout out to our guy Taint and Matty Ice. It's UNLV on the money line at minus 120. Mike M's Puck Bunny play today is the Rangers under 5.5. There's a community of new knowledge in the house who's running real hot, and he's now on Twitter. So follow back the community of new knowledge. I should probably throw your Twitter handle up here so we can get you followed. I also saw Cashman. I'm going to follow you back, Cashman. We need you guys to be as involved as we can. The community of new knowledge. Where is it? I thought I had it. The community of new knowledge. The community. Okay, community new knowledge. Can you post your Twitter handle there? I'd like to get you rolling and support that. Nolly's on the under 148 in Central Connecticut. Bryant and Tease's Empty the Coffers play is also there on the under 147.5. The under 134.5 Duquesne Dukes George Washington for Nolly knows. Under 126.5 St. Francis of Brooklyn Terriers Mount St. Mary's, and then the under 138.5 at minus 109 Chicago State Cougars at California Baptist Lancers. And I am interested in the Chicago State first half. That's a look that Tease is also on. There is the community of new knowledge. T-Conk 99 support our guy, and support all low baggers. And any low bagger on Twitter, just tag me. I'll follow you and support you guys. And I love it. So that's where we do a lot of our work. And then, so Tease is on St. Francis, Pennsylvania, Wagner, first half under 65.5. He's on the Central Connecticut Bryan under, and he's on the Yukon Creighton, first half under 64. Connor Max on Texas A&M at plus 10.5. And that play interests me a lot, and I'm going to look closer at it. He's on the under 136 at minus 111 in St. Louis, Rhode Island. I'm going to move on St. Louis, and I also have interest in the Rhode Island team total under. Iowa State minus 4 at minus 107 is CMAC. I'm going to look closer at that. Then he's on the under 140 at minus 109 in Miami, Boston College. We have some extra plays here for our guy. The Miami first quarter plus 1.5. Damn. Okay, because I was thinking of moving on the Bucks first quarter, but I will not. And the Phoenix team total over 118.5 is the entire action from Dan Kelly. We've already gone over all of the NBA action from Dutchie and our NBA pros in the chat. Thank you guys so much for rolling with us. Don't forget San Antonio, baby. And don't forget our big Saturday horse racing show, Friday night Razor Sharp Picks, and then he'll be with me on Saturday as well. We do all day horse racing on Saturday, and I'm very excited about it.
I think I'll join you on the show on Saturday. I'll come out of retirement, of the horse retirement.
That would be enjoyable, Jose. We would love to have you as always.
I know you didn't invite me, and you wouldn't have invited me if I didn't invite myself.
You're right.
But I think I can contribute.
I imagine that you can, and also your average line has climbed to plus 210 in the Say Hey plays of the day.
I saw.
Are you just retiring now? You're just gonna let it go?
No, I'll be honest. I have a 4-unit play that I put out, or that I bet today. It's just tailing our guy Nolly. I'll make it official. But this, since you mentioned it, Jim, I think this will be my last Say Hey play until baseball season, because I am also on a lockout, Jim. I will not be fucking. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to censor myself, like you would say. I was going to say a lot of bad things, and I'm not going to do it because, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so no play from you today?
No, yeah, sorry. It's the under. I thought I said it already. The under, Central Connecticut and Bryant.
What's the best line we can get you?
I took it at 148 minus 110, and we can just roll with that. I'll double check right now.
Under 148 and minus 110. By the way, Say Hey Play of the Day is up 20.66 units on the show with an ROI plus 10.82%, 95 and 96. But his average line with some bombs, he was on Johnny Vegas to win the Honda Classic, I believe. Johnny Vegas tied for 42nd, did make the cut. And then he had Evan McPherson, not to be confused with Elle McPherson, to win MVP of the Super Bowl plus 100 or 100 to 1. Sorry, 100 to 1.
Don't talk about Juliana Pena plus 600 or Cat plus 1200 though. Don't talk about those. Bang bang.
Yes, those were cash. Look, you respect. You deserve respect. You've been excellent for an extended period of time, which will always allow you to jump on any show that I'm on. Always. Although I'll never.
I appreciate it. And Josh Easley put up a good point. Seriously though, Jose, college baseball, even bettable. I think it's hard to find lines or find books that give out those lines. But if you do have a book that gives out lines for college baseball consistently, I'd love to hear it because I would bet on UTSA baseball games because let's just say I know the program well. I know alumni from the program well. As a former manager of the team, I have a fix or something. You know, I don't know. I want to call it fix. I have a tell. I know things.
Okay. Well, we'll see if the UTSA baseball ever comes up in conversation over the next 30 or 40 years of our lifetime together.
Hey, well, they beat you Stanford the other day. I was there, walk off. They're plus like 200-ish. Not a big deal. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine, Jimmy. It's fine. It's fine. Baseball's going to be back soon, but I'm going to lock out anyways, Jim, so it doesn't matter. And Real Deal Prime gave that Southern Miss too, by the way.
Southern Miss. And the cash me out pick of the day is the Hornets plus 4. Wow. Cash me out going up against this Cavs spot with Garland back. Very, very, very interesting.
That might be the star coming back theory right there, if you want to consider Garland a star.
I do consider him a star. I do. Okay, so Say Hey is on the Central Connecticut game.
If that loses, I will be very devastated and my bank account will be hurting. And it will make this week much less enjoyable. Let's just say my bad mood will continue.
All right, let's say that. There he is, Jose Bouquet, all one hole. He will be in San Antonio as well. We'll be picking up all you guys together at the airport.
I'm driving too.
You are, yes, because I will be heavily intoxicated, so I will not be driving. Shout out to all you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Community of New Knowledge, Ron Crawford, Puzzler, Real Deal Prime, Michael Ervelina, Rem Most, Jay Soul. Jay, I followed you on Twitter yesterday. Respect. Wine Time Sports, Polly Walnuts, Josh Easley, and Josh, happy birthday yesterday. And happy birthday to Unc Oliver today. Cashman, all you guys, Dan, Kelly. It's an honor to cap with you guys every day, and you inspire all of the people on Pub Sports Radio to work harder and to try harder and deliver more consistently. That's what you do for us, and it means a ton. Sammy B's on Toronto and the over, and Dallas, Rangers, and Nashville. Nashville is his play of the day. Elliot V on the Stars. On behalf of all of us at Pub Sports Radio, let's have ourselves a day. Not a bad day yesterday, 8-6 plus 1.95 units. You know, any day in the black is a good day. But we need more of this. Raven, it's great to see you back. Razor sharp picks. Piker in the house. Let's get that cash. Leche. Hey, los bookmakers.